No.
No, that's
You don't
worse
know what
than
mids is.
You don't know what mints is.
Mids is mid.
What about oregano? That's the worst type of weed.
That's bunk.
You're talking
Okay, so bunk is the Patriots are bunk. On today's part of my take, week 9 in the NFL, we're going to talk about every game from Sunday, Chiefs and Dolphins starting off the day. Josh Dobbs being incredible, whether or not Max should feel good about the Eagles beating the Cowboys. And Hank is going to have to admit something he never thought he'd have to admit in his entire life.
PowerPoint coming Wednesday.
PowerPoint coming Wednesday. So we have a lot of football to get to. We're going to start with Fastest 2 Minutes. We also have Who's Back of the Week. And it's all brought to you by our friends at Netflix. In sports, the scoreboard doesn't tell the full story, but Netflix does. Stories about dads who happen to be world-class quarterbacks, untold tales of athletes you thought you knew, the heart-racing pressure for the heart, soul, and survival of the multi-billion-dollar business of F1, stories about college kids who were given a last chance at redemption, David Beckham's meteoric rise to not only becoming a global soccer phenomenon, but also becoming one of the biggest celebrity couples in pop culture.
Great doc.
Great. I mean, Netflix has it all. Netflix has it all. So from upsets to injuries, from comebacks to victories, we get to see it all with Netflix Sports. These are the stories that turn us all into fans and give everyone something to cheer for, to feel for, to hold your breath and get up out of your seat for. Whether you're a diehard fan or you're brand new, with shows like F1 Drive to Survive, Quarterback, Full Swing, which I heard maybe our friends in this upcoming year, Untold, Beckham, and so many more. Netflix has the stories for every type of fan. Netflix turns us all into fans. Netflix has the best stuff to watch in general, but especially they've been beefing up their sports section. I've been watching it all. There's nothing better than a good sports doc. It's just like, man, what do I do when I'm not watching sports? I watch more sports, but the story is sports. So Netflix has been beefing it up. Netflix Sports, your next obsession awaits. Go to Netflix right now. Watch some of these incredible documentaries that are coming out. Seems like every single week. So Netflix Sports, your next obsession awaits. So thank you to Netflix. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take. Today is Monday, November 6th, week 9. Some spread. We start week 8.
9.
Wait, it's not week 8?
9.
Are you saying 9 or 9?
9.
Okay. In week 9, we had a rematch of World War II where U.S. invaded Germany and they brought their fat man and little boy with Andy Reid and Mike McDaniels. Kansas City came out to a dominating lead and had the Dolphins surrounded, but left them off the hook like Dunkirk in the second half. Raheem Spicy Brown Mostert had the Chiefs in a pretzel, one of those huge German ones that rocks, but it was too little, too late, as the quarterback left a 3rd and 10 throw short, and the Chiefs escaped the bunker with a win. Chiefs 21, Dolphins 14.
Back to America, real America, Houston, Texas, where the Stroud boys had an uprising while Tampa Bay tried to stop the count late in the 4th. Tank, for whom the Dell tolls, it tolls for thee, Tampa, found his hemming way into the end zone twice. Houston was cooking up a storm on their Food Network as Dalton Brown combined for 16 catches and 283 yards, leaving Todd on the toilet bowls. Texans 39, the Bucs 37.
Tick, 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 tick. In Atlanta, where the Vikings season had a Jaron Hall pass after they were forced to start the rookie, but oh my God, that's Stone Cold Josh Dobbs music. As God is my witness, Josh Dobbs is back. Josh Calvin and Dobbs in relief had the Falcons defense looking like paper tigers, and he put defenders in the funny papers time and time again. Januna Matata said there will be no worries for the rest of your days if you own Kyle Pitts in fantasy. After he scored a long touchdown to put the Falcons up But the Falcons forgot about Brandon Powell wheels as he activated his little electronic motor for the winning score. Vikings 31, Falcons 28.
Huh? Josh Dobbs is a quarterback after 3 days?
Josh Dobbs.
Up to Baltimore, where Michael Keaton Mitchell was looking dope and sick as he hit the multiplicity button on yards. The Seahawks were on a hot streak, but seemed to have run out of luck at the casino, busting out broke in another game. Odell Beckham blew out the candles for his birthday, and then celebrated by blowing out the back of the Seahawks as he forced it into their end zone. Michael Jackson Smith and Jigba will be moonwalking back to Seattle as the Seahawks are bad, they're bad, and they really, really know it, they're bad. Ravens 37, the Seahawks 3.
Out in the desert where it was Tony P and LV showing off positive masculinity as Antonio Pierce felt and touched his players before the game. The Giants aren't good, but they have some fellas like Tommy 2 times, DeVito. We call him Tommy 2 times because he throws interceptions 2 times. Here's a pick. Josh Jacob Gyllenhaal night-crawled his way to 2 scores as the Raiders broke the back of the Giants' season. The Raiders 30, Giants 6.
The New York Football Giants.
And the Las Vegas Raiders.
We go up to Green Bay, where Sean Timothy McVay's plans blew up in his face, and Puka Necklace Nakua looked like a shell of himself. Anders Hot Carlson took a dump all over the Rams' face, kicking for 2 field goals, and Rams fans watching their backup play felt like they were ripping balls on Hikadelics, watching Brett fumble snaps and throw picks. Return of the Matt LaFleur is back up in the game playing with his favorite R&B, Aaron Jones again, as the Packers beat the Rams 20-3.
Over to New England. Joe Sly, the science guy, started off the scoring with a first quarter field goal, and Bill Belichick had no answer for Brian Jackie Robinson, who broke the goal line barrier in the second quarter for 7. Hunter Henry Lockwood was flying high after scoring this weekend, and Ramondre the Giant Stevenson was asking the crowd, "Does anybody want a peanut?" after rushing in for a touchdown of his own. Late in the quarter, Mac Jones was picked off by Jartavius Martin Garrix, who was high on life after stealing the win. Now he can say officially, just like the motherfucker on that plane, the Lighthouse is not real.
Oh!
Washington 20, Patriots 17.
That was incredible, Boom.
Thanks, Boom.
That was the best boomer ever, Boom.
Thanks, Boom.
I'm Teach.
Over to Philadelphia, where the Cowboys play in a house of pain. Deck it up, deck it in. Let me begin. I came to win. Step out of bounds, that's a sin. As Dak did his best impression of Jerry Jones, hitting the white lines a little too early as he stepped out on a costly 2-point conversion. Jalen hurt so good. You know your knee don't feel like it should. Jalen hurt so good. Played a heroic second half, but it was the Eagles defense that played like cougars, tackling a lamb to finish the game. The Eagles 28, the Cowboys 23.
Standing on a corner, Jameis Winston down in NOLA, such a fine sight to see. It's Taysom Hill, my lord, running for a score and throwing for a score, running Chicago's D. Come on, Bajan, get off the pavement. Justin's coming back, and you haven't gotten paid yet.
Saints go marching 24-17. And that is week 9. Fastest 2 minutes. Brought to you by our friends at Chevy. There's a new family with unstoppable grit, and they're the official partners of the Pardon My Take family, and that is the Chevy Silverado ZR2 family. The first ever Silverado heavy-duty ZR2 joins the franchise to make Chevy ZR2 the only truck brand with a full lineup of trucks ready for wherever your off-road adventures take you, with exclusive Multimatic DSSV dampers, rugged mud terrain tires, and up to 14 available camera views. The Chevy Silverado ZR2 and Silverado HD ZR2, a family with commanding and unstoppable grit. So head to Chevy.com, check out the Chevy Silverado and family of Chevy ZR2s, the official trucks of Pardon My Take. Thank you to Chevy. We are a Chevy podcast, and they are sponsoring Fastest 2 Minutes. So shout out Chevy. Okay. That was a great Boomers, Hank. Maybe Boomer of the Year. People are saying.
I'm honored.
Did you work on that? You came on that all on your own.
That's all me.
I love you.
It was a pure Henry.
Yes. So Week 9 in the books. We're going to talk about Bengals Bills at the end because we are in the middle of the fourth quarter right now. Looks like the Bengals are going to win after a very costly Dalton Kincaid fumble. But let's get into Week 9. I feel like we really found out who the absolute worst teams in the league are this week. And also more questions at the top than I had going into it, I feel like.
I disagree.
Oh, okay.
I think we found out who the best teams are.
We do have there's a couple of very, very good teams. I'm more talking
Sunday.
I'm more talking Cowboys, Eagles. I'm still very confused how that went. But let's get into the games. Let's start with the game in Germany. Chiefs 21, Dolphins 14. The Miami Dolphins are officially FRAUDS frauds.
They're not real.
They're not real.
They're going to continue. They got some very winnable games coming up, and then the times where they play against the good teams, I think we're going to see more of the same.
Yeah, when they play Kennesaw State in 2 weeks, they'll probably put up 100, and then they got to play Alabama, and it's not going to look good. So the Dolphins are now versus teams with a losing record, 5-0, with a combined score 234 to 125. So almost doubling up the score. The Dolphins versus teams with a winning record are 0-3, 100 for their opponent, 51 for them.
When they play good defense, they kind of turtle a little bit. And I think the Chiefs are a really good defense.
I think the Chiefs are a top 5 defense, which is crazy
so
to
good.
say, but I think that's the scariest part about the Chiefs is that their offense still doesn't look like peak Mahomes, because I think in the second half they went completely to sleep. I think they have 46 yards total in the second half. But their defense is very much legit. Held two to under 200 yards. Held the Dolphins scoreless in the first half. Even after all the sleep, nothing has made the travel. Nothing has made me more mad at myself than putting that much weight behind the travel, because I was front and center on the Dolphins are frauds and like hammer against them when they play any good team. And the travel, the fact the Chiefs went on Thursday got me off that scent.
Fucked me up too. This way, Andy Reid.
We should have made so much money betting the Chiefs.
Andy Reid beat time
Yeah.
this weekend. He's so good of a coach that he beat time. Andy Reid versus seconds is a battle for the ages, and he came out on top again. It was really two halves though. First half, you had Tyreek Hill and his fumble. That was returned for the touchdown. That
end
was
of the first half.
That was the play of the game.
Yep.
Where Tyreek, former Chief, talking a lot of shit going into this game, gets stripped, loses the ball. They return it. They rugby it back for a touchdown. And at that point, it felt like the Chiefs were going to like just dominate and put them away, like 40 to 7, 40 to 14, something like that. And then the second half, the Chiefs looked like they were the ones that were asleep.
The Dolphins defense played well, and I think if you are a Dolphins fan, today's not a great day, because you need to beat one good team to feel like you are a true Super Bowl contender. Because guess what? When you get to the playoffs, all you do is play good teams.
It doesn't matter who you play in the playoffs. If you're a Dolphins fan, you are going to be officially nervous as shit for that first game.
Right. But the Dolphins defense they looked good in the second half. The Chiefs did basically nothing in the second half, but it's the fact that they just, whenever the Dolphins, that high-flying, greatest show on surf is what they're calling it, goes up against a decent defense, it gets stymied and looks completely different.
Yeah, and I love watching Isaiah Pacheco run with the ball, where he looks like he's just splashing through puddles, just stomping every single time he takes a step. Very, 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 very much like a vertical runner, to the point where I guarantee you his high school football coach, or definitely Greg Schiano, at one point is like, why are you running so scared out there? Yeah. Why are you so upright? Get your head down and hit somebody. But it's fun to watch him play, and the Chiefs are for real. We can definitely say that their defense is good enough to keep them close in any sort of game, and then you have Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. They're almost not fair.
What's going to happen is the Chiefs' defense is so good this year that they are going to keep them at the top of the AFC for just long enough for Patrick Mahomes to figure it out with his new receivers. That's what's going to happen. We're going to get to late December, and it's going to be like, ooh, Rashee Rice and Patrick Mahomes are figuring it out together. Ooh, Kadarius Toney isn't the worst player in the world anymore. Yeah. Like that story, if we could predict a story, Aaron Andrews sitting down with Patrick Mahomes late December being like, how did you guys all get on the same page?
You know what it
and
always
it's
is?
going to be like, fuck, they're doing it again.
It's always video games.
Yeah.
It's like, I just had guys over at my house. So we just played video games.
It's
for a
just
while.
something like that. I have a question. That was the Tua, and who was it on the 3rd and 10? Was that Waddle or was that Tyreek?
I'm not sure who that was. With the pass that went short,
That was just miscommunication, right? That wasn't Tua trying to throw as hard as he can.
I don't think that was possibly Tua trying to hit him in stride.
Okay, good.
I'm going to apologize for Tua.
I think it was an option route.
I'm going to make an excuse
Yeah, it was
for
an
Tua
option route.
and say that he was not trying to lead him on that pass, because if he did, that Tommy DeVito would have thrown that ball better.
It was the Tebow pass, the famous one in the wind in a Broncos practice.
Yeah, it was a bad pass.
So yeah, the Tua MVP obviously takes a ding. Probably had taken a ding a couple weeks ago against the Eagles, but the Dolphins, they just have to beat a good team. They have to, and until that happens, I don't think it's unfair to be like, yeah, they're a decent team, but a Super Bowl contender? I don't think so. And now who do they got? Who's their next?
You know what?
They don't
though?
have a lot of tests.
Home
They have
against the Raiders after the bye.
Yeah,
They might fraud themselves into actually becoming like a little bit of an angry team, because everyone now is going to be saying that they're frauds.
and
They got a lot of bulletin boards to look at. Like if you're the Dolphins, now is not the time where you want to listen to what the media is saying about you after loss. You actually should, though, because every morning show in America is going to be like, they're frauds, they're fraudulent, they can't beat a good team, and those people saying that are right, by the way. But the only way you can get yourself out of this fraud hole is by listening
Fraud
to
hole,
it
yeah.
and getting pissed off enough at it that you commit yourself to no longer being a fraud.
And look, I actually want to spin it positively for the Dolphins because I am a member of TuneOn, and there's no reason for, there's no ill will I have against the Dolphins. I would like them to be a really good team that can beat other really good teams, because I think the league would be more fun for it.
Yep.
So let's do positives that I have going forward. I think your defense is getting better, healthier. A-Chain will come back eventually.
You're going to get faster.
You're going to get faster. Your schedule is not that tough. So, the idea that this is maybe going to slip like it did last year, which was more because of injury to Tua, I don't think that's going to happen. I think I can confidently say the Dolphins are going to be in the playoffs. I'm not worried that much. But yeah, just figure out a way to beat a really good team. Mike McDaniels, go into your spreadsheets, cook something up,
Hit that vape.
figure it out.
Try a new blend.
So I have one question coming out of this game. Is Mike McDaniels too cute?
He does get a little cute with that. Some hiding behind some other coaches trying to avoid the camoras.
The press
Joking around?
conferences, the sunglasses.
Well-
Does Mike McDaniels maybe need to get a neck tat, maybe a teardrop tat, and be like, I'm going to be a hardcore coach and not the cute coach that everyone's fallen in love with? Because if you can't beat the good teams, the too cute thing starts.
He does need to bring back the double hoop earrings. That would be a good
Yes.
start, doesn't he? That was a good look for him when he was a ball boy in Denver. You don't fuck with that guy.
Just do something, Mike McDaniel, to not be as cute as you have been, because you're so fucking cute. I want to put you in my back pocket. You're so cute.
Mike McDaniel, he goes from looking like a weed smoker to a weed dealer.
Yeah.
If he puts the earrings back in.
Maybe gets a white Jetta.
Yeah. The white Jetta is not that fearsome. That's
that's
a pretty cute
That's
car.
like a high school, you got enough money dealing weed that you can lease a white Jetta.
Maybe a Honda Civic SI.
Yeah.
With manual, put some bucket seats, some racing seats in there, put a huge fucking spoiler on the back of it.
Yeah, I don't know, just something to heart. Maybe Mike McDaniel just needs to beat someone up.
So I actually think that they might be in a better place if they had lost last week to the Patriots, if they were on a 3-game losing streak. Because Mike McDaniel has said, when I got to the NFL as a head coach, I couldn't wait for my first 3-game losing streak, because that's when you know that you have to get the guys together.
He had it
rally them
last
around.
year, yeah.
He had it last year. He rallied them together. This is win, loss, their last 4. If you had a losing streak, then you circle the wagons.
So Mike McDaniel has not started coaching yet.
Not yet. Not till he loses 3 in
season.
a row.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the schedule right now. They're not going to lose. Well, no, they might. They might lose to the Cowboys, Ravens, and Bills to close out the season.
And the Jets, I still think the Jets are going to be a tough game for them on Black Friday.
Well, that would be great if they
At New York.
If they lost to the Jets, the Cowboys, and the Ravens, then they circle the wagons, play the Bills.
Yeah.
Week 17
Ooh.
or 18, I guess.
Snowballs.
Cold. Well, no, that's at home. So
Yeah.
rainy, Miami.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, not cold at all.
Humid.
Not cold at all. Okay, let's play a fun game before we get to the next game. called where is the next Chiefs loss going to happen and how much will people freak out about it? Because I think we're in agreement that the Chiefs, and we'll get to the Ravens because the Ravens have been playing incredible football, but the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC. And what they basically do is they'll just find a couple losses here and there where everyone could be like, what's wrong with the Chiefs? We did it last week when they we actually were pretty good where we're like, nothing's wrong with the Chiefs. They're fine. So what's the next Chiefs loss that people will be like, oh no, are the Chiefs in trouble?
I think they might lose to the Bills in Buffalo December 10th.
Okay.
That's going to be like the Bills Super Bowl. That's going to be a must win for the Bills at that point.
Okay.
So they're going to bring their best game. And I know Chiefs fans out there will get very pissed off to hear that because they fucking hate the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
And they get disgusted when anybody mentions the Bills in the same breath as the Chiefs. But that's going to be a very hard game to play.
I could see them losing to the Packers in a fluky game.
No.
Yeah, just in a weird in Lambeau. Maybe it's cold. Something stupid happens. Patrick Mahomes gets COVID again.
Maybe the Raiders, if the Raiders get another interim head coach.
Yeah. I don't know. There's going to be, what's going to happen. The Chiefs will lose one more inexplicable type game, and everyone will say, "Oh no, are the Chiefs the Chiefs have some problems? Can the Chiefs be had?"
Yeah.
No, the Chiefs will probably win the Super Bowl.
So Andy Reid did have the quote of the week though, and this was before the game, and the German press was just talking about football, what it means to America, what it means to him, what he's been through.
Yeah.
And Andy said, if we could just figure out how to get all the countries to play football, we wouldn't have war.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Just like
facts.
Solve this on the field.
Yeah.
Step out on the gridiron like a man, instead of lobbing missiles at people. Like, let's just go out there. Let's just play some ball.
This is like the old, remember when we learned it?
McDonald's.
The McDonald's, which is not true.
Yeah,
That's just not true
no two countries that have McDonald's have ever fought a war against each other.
That was the greatest lie that we learned as kids.
No, and it does not make sense. It's factually inaccurate. Although the McDonald's in Iraq, they were actually called I think they were like McDonald or something like that. They were like fake McDonald's. But you couldn't even say that about football, American football either, because countries that have American football have actually fought a war against each other.
Right.
America.
Right.
In the 1800s.
Right.
It was kind of a big deal.
Yes.
But I kind of agree with Andy. Like, let's just I don't necessarily agree that it would solve world peace, but it would make for some great rivalry games.
I would say it would solve world peace for 18 Sundays a year.
Like
that's things you can't fight a war on an NFL Sunday.
It's like saying, football is the great peacemaker. You never see Raiders fans fighting against Chiefs fans, right? Because we're all here to watch football together.
No one's ever seen an Eagles fan or a Chargers fan.
If anything, it would start more wars, I think.
Yeah, but they would just be fought with like bottles,
flares,
and dudes that don't have the higher ground that think that they can just punch up against like 16 of the team they're playing against.
Just guys wearing throwback jerseys from like the year 1975 that they bought online from like an illegal sweatshop in China.
Ditch the camouflage and grab your finest pair of jean shorts. We're enlisting in the Army.
Can you imagine if the United States military had dudes wearing the Ravens camo shorts just running up hills, charging and fighting?
Never lose.
Wouldn't fuck with them.
Never lose. Never lose. All right, so yeah, the Dolphins are frauds.
They're frauds. Chiefs are very.
It is what it is.
Chiefs are still very, very good.
Yeah. Chiefs are very, 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 very good. And I really wish that the Chiefs had just gone on Tuesday because I would have won a lot more money, and my day would have started off in a lot better place.
I would not have bet on the Dolphins at all if there wasn't such a huge difference of travel. But I guess we learned that once we find something and we latch onto it, we'll just get obsessed with that thing until we're proven wrong.
The amount of times I think I've figured it out, it's incredible.
I still think it was the right bet.
Yeah. No. But yeah. Okay, next up. Maybe the best team in football right now. Ravens 37, Seahawks 3. This was an ass kicking it was a biblical ass kicking. It was not even like 37-3. Yes, you obviously see that score and you're like ass kicking. But then you look at the numbers and it was insane. The Ravens had 29 first downs to the Seahawks 6. The Ravens had 515 yards to the Seahawks 151. The Ravens had 298 rushing yards. So the Ravens almost had double the amount of just rushing yards than the Seahawks total yards. It was never close. It was an ass kicking through and through. And even kind of the reverse of what we were talking about with the Dolphins, the Ravens have now played 3 teams who are above 500. One of them was the Browns when I think Deshaun was out. Is that right? I believe, or maybe he got injured in that game.
Yeah, I forget if you played that or not.
So the scores of the Ravens games against teams over 500, 28-3 against Cleveland, 38-6 against Detroit, 37-3 against Seattle.
Yeah, two teams that are leading the divisions, or were leading their divisions, Seahawks and Lions, combined score of 75-9 against those two teams. The Ravens had 4 sacks today. That leads the league.
They also had pressure on 54.5% of the dropbacks.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
Their defensive back, Geno Stone, he got his 6th interception of the year.
Geno to Geno. Probably first time ever.
Probably, I would imagine. That's the first time, or that he's still leading the league right now. And they got another weapon at running back.
Yeah.
So it seems like whoever the Ravens put in at running back is going to be great. Keaton Mitchell was the guy today.
From ECU.
He's a Pirate. He had 9 carries, 138 yards. That's a 15.3 average per carry. He had a touchdown. Fun fact about Keaton Mitchell, he's from ECU, undrafted, right? He was projected to go like middle of the draft. He fell out for some reason. I think he was like a second-team All-American in college. So he was undrafted Ravens free agent. His dad was also an undrafted free agent signed by who? The Baltimore Ravens.
That would have been funny if you were like the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah. He blocked a kick in the playoffs against the Titans and returned it for a touchdown. That was the winning score as the Ravens went on to win their Super Bowl.
Wow.
So now his son.
Their first one.
Yeah. So that makes you feel very, very old to know that his son now is an undrafted free agent that's lighting up the Seahawks in the NFL.
And it just is crazy. The Ravens have figured out their running game, because that was a lot of the talk once Dobbins went down. It's like, okay, they still probably need someone here because they do like to run the football, and now they get this kid Keaton Mitchell out of nowhere who's like the perfect complementary piece to Gus Edwards, who is clearly the goal line back. And yeah, the Ravens, I mean, their defense, I didn't know, hand up, I'm just going to say it, I thought Kyle Van Noy retired.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, well, I think he signed recently with the Ravens.
I knew that he was around at least for a few weeks.
I don't think he started the season with the Ravens.
Kyle Van Noy, we'll look him up.
He had sacks on back-to-back plays.
How old do you think Kyle Van Noy is?
He's young.
He's only 32. That's crazy. I did not know that. Yeah, it's very Van Noying. He, let's see, 2020. Yeah, he's played 7 games.
Oh, okay, so he did play the whole season. So maybe I did know that. Either way, I was like, wait, Kyle Van Noy's on the Ravens? Because I thought he was – where was he last year? Was he on the Lions? No. Was he back on the Patriots?
He was on the Chargers.
Chargers, that's right. Okay,
Chargers.
that's where I got it. He got lost in my mind when we went to the Chargers.
You know what it is about Kyle Van Noy? I think he streams so much that you think he's retired. That you're like, oh, this guy's not playing anymore.
And he tweets a lot.
Yeah. He tweets a lot. He's too online to be playing still. But no, he's playing a full schedule. I would just like to admit right now, the Baltimore Ravens, I think they are the best team in the NFL. I think the Ravens.
It's my ears. I have them. They're my Super Bowl pick.
I think the Ravens are the most complete team.
He did sign in late September.
Okay, so
a little vindication.
Didn't start the season.
He didn't start the season.
But the way that the Ravens play against good teams, they are. I think they're the best team in the league.
They still have to figure out. Like, it doesn't feel like their offense is fully clicking. Like Lamar, he was good today, but he wasn't like.
I thought he was pretty good.
No, I know he didn't throw any touchdown passes.
The stat sheet doesn't really tell how good Lamar was today because
he also got a little dinged up.
He was 21 for 26. So that's pretty good.
No, he was good.
I'm just saying, throw deep that much.
Yeah, it wasn't like what was it? Oh, it wasn't the game against the Seahawks or the Lions.
When a quarterback throws for 80 yards to their tight end and he's their number 1 receiver, then you lose track of how good he was because he also completed 9 passes to Mark Andrews.
Yeah,
so
listen, I've been on the Ravens since before the season started. I have them 18-1. Like I thought the Ravens have everything. Their defense is nasty.
Yeah, the Ravens are extremely good. Seahawks, I don't know what we can take away from this because we saw the Lions get their ass kicked by the Ravens, and it turns out the Lions are still pretty good. So I don't know that I'm ready to bury the Seahawks yet, but I am. You are going to bury them?
I'm not going to bury the Seahawks. I'm done with Geno.
Yeah,
I've had enough Geno. I think I'm good with Geno. Like I know that. People will tell me I'm wrong because the tape says something different. I just feel like Geno last year he had a very good year, and now he's kind of gone back to Geno, which is okay, but like I never really feel a ton of trust in Geno. I'm never like, man, Geno's going to really go out there and win this game.
He might bounce back. Geno always bounces back. You're writing him off.
I am writing him off.
I'm just, he ain't right back.
Just kind of I'm good with it. Like I think he's okay. I'm not saying he's bad. I will never feel trust in Geno to be like, you can go win this big game.
Right. I agree with that, but I'm not ready to bury them. I still think that they could.
Their team is talented.
In the NFC, they're probably going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And this is a year where I think a lot of people were writing the Seahawks off, like, oh, they're going to roll with Geno. Okay, we'll see how that far that gets you. I think that this is they're a perfectly fine team.
I think it really comes down to like Geno doesn't. Whenever there's a lot of pressure, and yeah, obviously you can say this for every quarterback, but whenever there's a lot of pressure, it just feels like Geno doesn't have any solutions. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like it's just a problem that there is no way out of.
And at the end of the day, he's always going to be the guy that got his jaw broke by his teammate.
Yeah. Maybe I'm being mean. I do think the Seahawks are a very talented team, and I am not going to just say one game means that you suck all of a sudden. But yeah, I think I'm just good with Geno. I think I'm good with Geno. Some people telling me that Geno's like somehow way different than he was.
I think Geno's like a 20 to 15 caliber NFL quarterback.
I think he's just the exact Geno where it's like, yeah, he's got a lot better players around him now, and there's games where he can look great, but at the end of the day, would you trust your life with Geno Smith?
I would not trust my life.
I would not trust my life with Geno Smith.
I would trust it with Lamar.
I would trust it with Lamar
on certain occasions, for sure.
Yeah.
Until you get to the playoffs and a team tries to do some weird scheme, like was it the Chargers? Was it Anthony Lynn?
What quarterbacks
that put like 9 defensive backs out there?
Yeah, what quarterbacks would you trust your life with? I think it's Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, it might be Jalen Hurts.
I think Joe Burrow.
I think that might be it.
Life, yeah.
Like you put your life on the line for it.
I would with those 3 guys for sure.
I think those are the 3 guys that I would only. Yeah.
Not Dak.
Definitely not Dak.
I just want to say not Dak for the record.
Kirk Cousins before he got hurt.
Yeah.
As weird as it sounds. Maybe Josh Dobbs in relief only.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a very, very short list. But yeah, Geno's not on that list.
I'm wondering what Seahawks fans will say about that because, again, I do think they're a good team. I think I'm just done with Geno. I think I'm just good with it. It's like he's good at times, but I'm never – I don't want to be told that Geno is something totally different than what he has always been.
I might trust C.J. Stroud in my life.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting closer. It's getting closer.
Do you think that Jim Harbaugh and John Harbaugh share any sort of like advanced scouting tips with each other? Because this looked like a game where the Ravens had all their signals.
That's true. Well, Connor Stallions
he's a free
job right now.
He resigned. Yeah. He did not get fired. He resigned. And
what
also
a ride or die guy.
And also Jim Harbaugh had no advanced knowledge of what Connor Stallions was doing behind the scenes.
I believe that Jim Harbaugh shouldn't be punished whatsoever when it goes to the NFL.
I do love Connor Stallions though. Yeah. I love the fact that he's like, you know what? I don't want to be a distraction to the team. I didn't do anything. They didn't ask me to do anything. I'm out. Like the best fall guy you could ever vote for.
Ever. Okay. Next game. Vikings Falcons. Josh Dobbs. What a fucking performance. Josh Dobbs. I have to apologize because when Josh Dobbs came in, I was like, Josh Dobbs isn't good. The Cardinals, his last month with the Cardinals was not looking great. Josh Dobbs came in, safety, strip sack, and then he was like, wait, I'm Josh Dobbs and I'm going to win this game, and played out of his mind after that.
Yeah.
And the story coming out of it afterwards that Josh Dobbs, so Kevin Seifert from ESPN tweeted that Josh Dobbs didn't take a single rep with offense in practice this week. No snaps from his center, Garrett Bradbury. Had never thrown passes to any of the guys on the team and didn't know most of their names, and said afterward that's for next week. And when Jaren Hall got concussed, they huddled really quick and they went over the 5 main cadences, and that was it. Mm-hmm. And then Josh Dobbs came out and absolutely, like after that bumpy start, torched the Falcons, made big play after big play, finished with 158 yards, 2 touchdowns, 66 yards rushing, and another touchdown. That was awesome. That was an awesome game to watch. Josh Dobbs, that was awesome. Maybe he should just jump from team to team.
I would love that. Every team should be so lucky to root for 1 week of Josh Dobbs. Exactly 1 week of them.
It was crazy.
And then probably nothing more than that. Jordan Addison said that Josh Dobbs didn't know the plays
because obviously he had only been there for a couple days. And so he had to ask. Josh Dobbs was asking the receivers in the huddle, like, what are you doing on that side of the field so that I know?
Yeah.
And they would tell him what he was doing. He took like 2 snaps on the sideline from the center. Kevin O'Connell was translating calls and mapping out the plays in the middle of the huddle while the play clock was going.
It's crazy.
Josh Dobbs said that this was like learning French and suddenly taking a Spanish test. It's a completely different language. And Dobbs says that now he has proved that he should be a starter in the NFL. I don't know if like full-time starter, but I think like spot starter.
Yeah, I mean, we did watch you for 2 months with the Cardinals.
I think what we've learned about Josh Dobbs is he is the best guy that you could ever have to come on the field in the middle of a game, or maybe to do like one start for your team.
He also just seems like the best guy, period.
Great guy.
Yeah.
And he's an astronaut, basically.
He's an astronaut, basically. That 4th and 7. So Josh Dobbs played stunk at the start, first 2 series, played great after that, and then the game goes back and forth. The Falcons score late. Josh Dobbs gets the ball with 2 minutes, has to go 75 yards, including a 4th and 7 with 40 seconds left that he ripped off. He basically shrugged off a defender who was at his feet and then ran for 22 yards and a first down, gets the game-winning touchdown with like 20 seconds left. It was awesome. It was like, that was prime witching hour, just great fun to watch.
Are we gonna have the conversation like, how come you can't get a Josh Dobbs jersey in the Minnesota Vikings team store?
Yeah, it's a good question.
It should be there.
It's a good question.
And like looking back on it, the Cardinals were probably trying to tell us something like, we don't want to rip off our fans selling his jersey because we're probably going to ship him away in a couple weeks.
It's also just very funny to think of like Josh Dobbs on the plane ride home from Atlanta and being like, man, that was a sick touchdown pass. What's your name again?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm Brandon.
I want to hear the Madden stories about him. I want to hear how he has to learn his teammates' names by playing Madden.
Yeah.
With him. That'd be sick. We also had, well, it was Dobbs. He's the only player to go 2 games for 2 different teams back to back with 3 touchdowns in each.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. Arthur Smith is, I think we can now say that Bijan Robinson is in his doghouse firmly. He fumbled, and then Arthur Smith was like, see, that's why I don't use you. That's why I don't use you. It's like the tired meme is not paying running backs on their second contract. And then the Wired meme is Arthur Smith not giving his running back enough carries to begin with to let them even deserve a second big contract.
Yes. It's weird seeing Bijan. He just is never in the red zone packages. He's not like what'd you say? Six carries in the second half?
Yeah.
I think he had 6 carries in the second half. Like Arthur Smith, we're fans of Arthur Smith. We're friends with Arthur Smith. His seat is getting a little warm because it's this is a game he should have won. When Jaron Hall gets concussed in the first quarter and Josh Dobbs, who doesn't know his teammates' names, comes in, you should win that game. And on top of that, Taylor Heineke, unfortunately, we're big Taylor Heineke guys, but he kind of had a Desmond Ridder type game where he did some nice things, and then he also had that interception. There was a terrible interception in the third quarter that gave the Vikings a ton of life. So it's like the Falcons feel like they're just moving in, like they're treading water right now.
I'm not going to put this on the offense. I'm not going to put it on Taylor Heineke. The defense.
Oh, the defense is bad.
Had some big problems today, and I thought that the defense was good. I like going into this game. I thought the Falcons had like I'll say this, a stout defense.
You can't game plan for Josh Dobbs.
You can't. There's no doing it. Yeah, there's no tape on him with those receivers.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy to watch. He was just it felt like I was watching a big college football game where the quarterback is, when you watch, we'll talk about it on Wednesday, when you watch a college football game and the quarterback's just better than everyone. So like if he needs to run for a first down, if he needs to throw for it, like he just big play after big play. That's what it felt like watching Josh Dobbs against the Falcons defense.
Yeah. It was honestly very, very fun.
Yeah.
Shout out Josh Dobbs.
Also, here's a fun fact. If the playoffs started today, the Minnesota Vikings would be the 7th seed.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
So now Jordan Addison should keep playing.
Keep playing.
Yeah, keep playing. We're back on, okay, don't sit out the rest of the year.
1-4 to 5-4. And they're 1.5 games back from the Lions, and they have both their games against the Lions coming up. So like out of nowhere, the Vikings, with Kirk Cousins playing great football and then getting hurt and being out for the year, and now Josh Dobbs, they still have Nick Mullins coming back as well. Like
You got to ride Josh Dobbs.
Oh yeah, but I'm
you
just
can't
saying,
go back
like,
to Jaron Hall.
I'm saying more. They have enough quarterbacks that more of them can get injured because it feels like the Vikings have the injury bug to anyone whose name we know.
Their emergency quarterback today was Cam Akers.
Yes,
Cam Akers tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's something going on up in Minnesota.
It's the drummer from Spinal Tap.
Yeah, so if you're a Vikings fan, you have to do that. We need to fire our strength and conditioning coach because we're getting all these Achilles injuries at the quarterback position.
Yeah, and didn't KJ Osborne get knocked out of the game too?
Yeah, that was bad.
Which is like Josh Dobbs did this without Justin Jefferson and KJ Osborne. So you'd think the Vikings are going to get a little healthier. And, I mean, what if the Vikings make the playoffs? My pinky.
They could. They could very easily make the playoffs. Arthur Smith, just a little word of advice here. You still have another thing that you can do to try to get yourself off the hot seat, and that's just have one game where you just load up Bijan and Kyle Pitts and Drake London for a fuckload of yards and points.
And whatever
because
happens, you win.
Then you can say, like, oh, well, they figured something out on offense. Now their playmakers are getting involved. Just, like, force feed them.
Or Bijan fumbles like 3 times, and everyone's like, oh, the coach is smarter than us.
Yep, and then everyone blames the GM for using the draft pick on a running back.
And again, we're not calling for Arthur Smith's job. We like Arthur Smith. I'm saying that it's clear that Falcons fans people are getting a little antsy, I think.
Yeah.
Because the NFC South is very winnable. And again, you went up against a guy who just met his teammates. You should win that game.
Yeah.
You should win that game.
Yeah, I mean, the Falcons are in just as good a position to make the playoffs as the Vikings are, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone has to get that 7th seed.
Yeah. It's going to be someone.
But not actually. They aren't because the Vikings are a game ahead and they have the tiebreaker.
They got the tiebreaker,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's definitely not said and done. Like the Falcons could very easily make the playoffs.
Yes. Okay. Next game. Texans 39, Bucs 37. Holy shit, CJ Stroud. What a game. He is incredible. He had 470 yards, 5 touchdowns. He led them on a game-winning drive with 40 seconds left. They needed did they need a touchdown? Yeah, they did. They needed a touchdown. The score of this game, which we'll get to the score, got me in a minute, but the score of this game got all screwed up because Kymie Fairbairn hurt himself in the first half. So the Texans spent the second half scoring touchdowns and not getting 2-point conversions. And then finally they got to a point where they're like, we should probably kick a field goal. And they got Dare Ogunbowale, who's a Badger, came out running back, first running back to kick a field goal in like 40 years, nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the game was like weird whenever a kicker gets injured, it's so much fun.
Oh, I love it. The kickoffs, everything about it.
Everything becomes weird. So this game got very weird, but CJ Stroud was out of this world good.
He was so good. We're very rarely right about things on this show, but standing up and standing by for the Stroud boys was a great call on our part. I think we should be recognized for that.
We'll get to Bryce Young, but I don't know. I don't remember a 1-2 pick being decided this quickly.
No,
I really don't.
I can't think of one either.
I thought Bryce Young would struggle this year and maybe get better, and I guess there's time for that. But CJ Stroud's a top 10 quarterback.
And there's some people, I think Ed Werder tweeted out, like, this should put all the naysayers to bed, those who said that the Texans screwed up the first round of the draft. People were never mad at the Texans for taking CJ Stroud to begin with. He was, like, very clearly the number 2 quarterback in that draft. They were mad because then they moved up again and they took the defensive player, Will Anderson.
Yeah.
And that was a little bit questionable for some people. But no, CJ Stroud is awesome. That those are both rookie records that you mentioned. 470 yards, that's number 1 all-time for rookies, and 5 touchdowns. That ties a rookie record.
It's also the only rookie in NFL history. The only rookie in NFL history to have a game where they go for over 400 yards, 4+ TDs, no interceptions.
That's pretty good. And
that's pretty good.
He's a gunslinger now because he's not afraid to throw picks.
I wanted to say, I think we touched on this on Friday, how the Texans love to run the ball on first down. They do it more than any other team. Thankfully, they realize the Bucs rush defense actually is good. They only ran the ball 17 times today. Credit to the Texans for being like, hey, CJ Stroud's really goddamn good. Let's let him win this game.
Well, it's because the Bucs, I think they're like 2 or 3 in the NFL in terms of how much they blitz.
Yeah.
So they're able to stop the run when they see the shitload of guys.
Vea, yeah.
And Vita Vea is also a big key to that too. But C.J. Stroud is awesome against the blitz. It turns out we told you this.
He's awesome all the time.
He's awesome all the time.
He was awesome in college. It's like shouldn't be a surprise.
You know what? Ohio State quarterbacks are actually great in the NFL.
They're great.
They're great.
They're next up.
Yeah, that's
all
a new
of them.
crew right there.
Kyle McCord.
Everybody. The Bucs on the other side of
They
it.
stink.
I kind of like it when teams like the Bucs and the Rams, they get their Super Bowl and then they just completely fall apart. Like they
hold on.
Yeah, you hold on to it. Like you rent a Super Bowl, you go all out, you recognize where your window is, and you say, you know what, fuck it, we're going to give our fans one chance to really do something, and then we're just going to be crummy for the next 5 years afterwards. And
right.
Because if you have Super Bowl winning players, you hold on to some of them too long because you're like, these guys won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But you forget about the fact that there's some other very key players that are now no longer with the team, and you can't expect Baker Mayfield to do with the same roster what Tom Brady did with his roster.
The Bucs' pass defense was atrocious.
Yeah.
They got absolutely torched.
But I like it.
Yeah, but
it's good for us long-suffering fan bases to see, like, okay, if you go like all in on your window, you're just going to come back to us. Just come on back and be shitty with us.
And there's no regrets.
No.
You know, flags fly forever. But yeah, it's true. Like the Bucs were like, hey, we won a Super Bowl. Now we're getting a little older. Let's just plug and play a couple of these key positions and hope it works out.
Because you have to think some of your older players that were on that Super Bowl, they're going to get into the Ring of Honor one day. They're going to be invited back for, you know, every ceremony. It's like, oh, members of the Super Bowl winning Bucs. So you can't like cut them the year after. You don't want to leave a bad taste in their mouth. This is a relationship that the front office knows, like, oh, we're going to have to see you like once a year for the next 20 years. So I guess if it's between you and like a second-year guy that's on the bubble, we're just going to get rid of him.
And it goes even down to just being like, oh, yeah, Todd Bowles will be our coach.
Yeah.
He stinks.
0%. 0% he goes for it on toss-up situations.
And Stephen Shea, our friend, who's a diehard Bucs fan, who's slowly coming to grips with the Bucs stink because they've now lost 4 straight. They started the season 3-1. He rightfully was very angry at Todd Bowles because Todd Bowles, it was like 40 seconds left. They fumbled the ball. Todd Bowles used...
They recovered the fumble.
They recovered the fumble. Todd Bowles used a timeout, his last timeout.
Yep.
And then took a shot at the end zone on the next play, scored a touchdown, but left the Texans with 40 seconds left to be enough time. Too much time for C.J. Stroud.
I think it went between like 55 seconds down to 40 seconds after the touchdown. Some like situation where it was about a 15-second swing. And in that part of the game, like, yeah, you don't need to call a timeout. You've got 4 shots at the end zone you're going to take.
Right. Don't call a timeout, then take a shot at the end zone.
Yeah, and also
wait to maybe run the ball and then take a shot at the end zone.
And they could have tried to kick a field goal later. You want that timeout in case you get tackled inbounds, you take a sack, you have to kick a field goal, call a timeout, get your guys out on the field. Todd Bowles is a bird brain.
Todd Bowles is a bad coach.
Nice guy.
Poor Stephen Shea. He rides with the Bucs so hard. He even said when the Bucs had 5 seconds left, 70 yards from the end zone, and they started the lateral play, he's like, "Ooh, I like how this is looking." It's like, really, Stephen? The left guard just like coughed up the football backwards, 10 yards down the line of scrimmage.
It was hopeless.
It was hopeless. But C.J. Stroud, man, he's the real deal.
Dog.
Like, if you're a Texans fan, you really just went through hell and escaped pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because the Deshaun thing was hell.
And you had Mills Mafia.
Yeah. And now you have all the hope in the world.
And you got draft picks coming up next year.
And you have the coach.
Yep.
Like, Texans, you might want to buy all the stock in Texans because if you're a Texans fan, the hope meter is completely full. And it's like, this is now, hey, if you could somehow sneak into the playoffs, you don't even have to make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, the real life hack
Tank Dell is awesome.
The life hack isn't necessarily drafting well. It's hoping the people in front of you draft really poorly.
Right.
And that you're just given a gift.
Right.
And so you got a gift.
You get a Panthers or a Bears in front of you.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy this gift.
Yeah. All right, Jake, you got a scoregami.
I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm not going to be. I've reassessed. I did a little reassessment of my own protocols. We're getting to that part of the season where I'm like low on sleep, maybe a little irritable from time to time. I'm not going to yuck your yum. I'm going to let you enjoy scoregamis. I'm going to put aside the fact that you don't bet on any of the games or even really root for anything except weird scores to happen and just be like, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I root for all your stuff. So
Yeah, I appreciate that.
handshakes.
Yeah.
How much
Appreciate
of Big Cat you changing your tune on this is the fact that Jake wasn't around us to cheer on the score?
100%. 100%. If in the middle of the witching hour,
No, but-
and I was sweating out bets,
That's
and
what
Jake
it's really
said,
about, Jake.
And Jake said, "Hey, can someone take a picture of me in front of the TV while I'm like dying with every bet?" I would have 100%
I
been
think
like, "Fuck score."
After
Goddess."
last week's interaction, I would have like gone to the PMT studio and taken a picture.
But I realized I was
but we don't want
too
you to do that,
harsh.
Jake. We want you to be you.
Yeah,
So
I want
it's
you to be you.
And also realize that it's not a you problem that he's upset with you about scoregamis. It's not your problem. It's,
No.
it's when he's sweating out a bet, when he's losing, in all likelihood, like
Yes.
losing a bet coming down
Yes.
to the end, and then he sees somebody else. It doesn't matter what they're happy about.
Well, no, if
he
someone's
sees
happy about their other bet, I'm fine with that.
another bet, but if it's you getting your picture taken in front of numbers,
Right.
then he's going to be like, well, my numbers are
didn't
bad.
do anything.
My numbers are bad. Why are your numbers good?
And your numbers didn't win you anything, but it did win you
Happiness.
something. Happiness.
Happiness,
And that's
yeah.
what I realized.
Yes.
So I apologize.
I appreciate the change
I-
of perspective.
I do think there's too many of them. I'll stay with that.
You can have that.
This
There's
was
way
thi-
too many of them.
This was a good scoregami
It was.
though, because I don't like it when they're numbers that you think would have happened before, and then you get excited about like a 20 to like 11 scoregami or something. When it's a game where it's 37-39, 39-37 Texans win. When you see that score, it's like those are some funky ass numbers, and the fact that it happened.
There was no alert for this
well,
one.
no,
it
this one
happened
was
all at the end.
this
Yeah.
one was cool because it was directly related to Fairbairn getting hurt,
Right.
and then them kneeling the 2-point conversion
Because they had to.
because they had to, and they didn't want to give up like a pick or any kind of weird play happening. So yeah, this scoregami I actually kind of enjoyed. Like that was.
Thanks.
It also was because you weren't taking the picture in front of me, but
Yeah.
I did enjoy it. I
So-
did enjoy it.
Dare Ogunbowale.
Yep, Badger.
The Badger that came on, kicked a field goal. I think it was a 29-yarder.
Yep.
Bad look for kickers because anyone can step in and do their job. That's bad. But very cool to watch, especially watching the reactions from the coaches on the sideline who were just like so pumped to see him make a field goal. It also shows that on kickoffs, if you have a guy like who's the guy in the Chiefs? Is it Reed? Their safety who's got a fucking cannon
Yes.
on his leg. If you have a guy that can kick the ball deep and kick it relatively straight, having another dude out there that can make a tackle is such a big advantage to you.
Such a big
It
advantage.
lets you cover the kick so much better. Otherwise, you're essentially running like a 10-on-11 wildcat return.
Yes.
where they've got the numbers on you. So if you got a guy that can kick it remotely deep, and he also happens to be a defensive player, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Jake, just wondering how many scoregamis are left? Just so I
Infinity.
can prepare myself in this new world.
Infinity.
Well, no, but like, let's say that
Under 50s. Like each side has under 50.
Under 50s, there's like 100.
Oh,
but most
wow,
of them are in the
shit.
40s. Under
Okay.
under 30, there's like 10 realistic ones.
Okay.
With the winning team under 30.
how pumped were you for this one?
It was great because it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And you were buy a TV?
Yeah, I had just gotten home. So for the witching hour. So it
Thank
worked
God.
out.
Mhm. Is that why you got home? Just in case?
Yeah, just in case.
Because if you had missed the picture,
Oh,
I would
you
have
would've-
counted it.
And you would have loved that.
No, I'm fine with you taking a picture somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
what-
want you to be happy. I did feel like I was being a little bit hard, and look, people should find enjoyment however they want. To be the guy being like, you shouldn't enjoy that. That's stupid. That's lame. I was being lame. I was being a lame ass, grumpy pants.
It's all right.
But I've changed.
So in the future,
You can do it.
What's the protocol?
You can do it.
Okay.
You
I won't
can
be
do it.
annoying about
Jake,
it.
No, you can
Jake,
do it.
Here's the deal. You can do
I don't think you're trying to be annoying. It's just
you can do
Yeah,
anything
my
you
presence.
want.
you can
Yeah.
do it.
You can do anything you want. You can if it makes you happy, do
Yeah.
it.
Right.
I can also, if it makes me happy, to be like, fuck you, Jake.
Of
I
course.
will say it in the moment. But
Yeah.
you can do
I
whatever
know it's
you
not
want.
personal.
Yeah. It never was personal.
Never.
It's more the scoregamis thing. There's been
Yeah,
too many.
It's just like my type of
Is
thing.
this the most in a year?
I don't
It's
think
gotta
so.
be.
I mean,
It's
we're at
gotta be.
5 and 9
Also,
weeks.
when you did Downagami the other day.
that was
I was
a
like,
reach.
we have too many
Yeah.
gummies.
I'll admit it. I'll admit it.
Jake was-
this
what
has
was
got to
it?
be a record
First and
for
23.
First and 23, Jake was like, is there such thing as Downagami? There was
gonna
also
be
a first and one.
Yeah. I didn't want to.
Now you got it in my head,
Yeah.
which I don't hate. It's very Jake, and that's okay.
there's just unlimited agamis if you translate it to any part of
I
life.
know, but it was a reach.
When he
but-
said Downagami, I was like, I have to stop this now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're gonna gami everything. But Jake, you
I'm
be
gomming.
you. I
Thank you.
apologize.
I will continue being myself.
Yes.
And I appreciate the support.
Do you think there's too many though?
There's been a lot. We're on a run.
There's been a lot.
We're
You know
hot.
what it is? You're on pace for a Gami.
Oh,
Ooh.
what's the most in a year?
I don't know. I'll have to do the research.
Do the
We need
research.
to know.
All right,
Yeah.
this is actually
Yep.
something I would like to know.
Yeah.
I'm interested in this. How many?
can get the
And
record.
it'd have to be like maybe in the last 20 years because
Well,
obviously
year one
yeah,
of the NFL.
it was all Gummies.
it was
Oh, Jake
unlimited
loved
Gummies.
it.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Jake
the
would have
record.
been standing in front of every TV.
First season in the NFL.
And we only would have had one TV.
Yep.
We only had one game.
Well,
and he
keep in
just-
mind, we also have 16 more regular season games and like 2 or 3 more postseason games.
That's true. More football, more
Yeah.
Gummies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so this game ruled. This is my game of the early slate.
It was awesome. And the
We
way-
had a great witching hour.
Listen, the football was great today. We've had some weeks where it's like you get 1 or 2 good games and the rest are just shit. This was there was action happening everywhere.
And it was funny because we went into this weekend being like Chiefs, Dolphins, Seahawks, Ravens. These are the big games, and it's where you don't expect it.
Mhm.
You have
I don't
the
know if
Bucs
you
and
guys had
Texans.
Red Zone on here, but watching at home, Scott Hansen, they had a side-by-side of Baker's 4th and game and Dobbs' 4th and game. They both scrambled and ran for it at the same exact time on Red Zone.
Oh,
That's wild.
It was
yeah.
sick.
We had all the games on.
Right, I figured,
Yeah.
but I don't know if there was a Red Zone box, but it was so sick.
Yeah, that is sick. Okay, should we take a break and then we get to the other 4 games, which weren't as good?
No.
They weren't as good.
Let's take a quick break. It's brought to you by Netflix. That's right. In sports, the scoreboard doesn't always tell the full story, but Netflix does. Stories about dads who happen to be world-class quarterbacks, untold tales of the athletes that you thought you knew, the heart-racing pressure for the heart, soul, and survival of the multi-billion-dollar business of F1. You get stories about college kids who are giving a last chance at redemption, David Beckham's meteoric rise to not only becoming a global soccer phenomenon, but also becoming one of the biggest celebrity couples in pop culture. You got upsets, injuries, comebacks, victories. We get to see it all with Netflix Sports. These are the stories that turn us all into fans and give everyone something to cheer for, to feel for, to hold your breath for, and to get up out of your seat for. Whether you're a diehard fan or if you're brand new, with shows like F1, Drive to Survive, Quarterback, Full Swing, Untold, Beckham, and so many more, Netflix has the stories for every type of fan. Netflix turns us all into fans. Shout out to the Untold series. Those are all awesome. Every single one that I've watched, right across the board. Automatic watch for me. Love all of them. Love Netflix Sports. Your next obsession awaits. You know what? There's nothing better that we can say to tell you like how powerful these Netflix shows can be than the fact that we now like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Because of something they did.
Yeah.
That is the biggest endorsement I can give.
People are going to start liking Max Homa if he's in the full swing.
That'd be funny if they actually start hating him. if it turned him into a jerk.
That would be awesome.
This guy's too online. Netflix Sports, your next obsession awaits. Check it out.
Okay. The big one. Commanders and Patriots. Hank, sit up. Sit up, Henry.
Adjust your posture, Hank.
Adjust your posture.
Look professional.
I'll just be moderator here.
Mhm.
I'll let you guys do whatever you want. The Commanders 20, the Patriots 17. Sam Howell looked awesome,
Yep.
PFT.
except for that one touchdown. Or it was a touchdown.
He threw it into the end zone. Yes, Hank, thank you for calling on me. I had
You're
a
welcome.
question for you. Trivia question.
Yes.
What do you think Sam Howell is record-wise against Super Bowl winning coaches?
I'm going to guess he is 4-0.
No, he's 3-0. 3-0. He beat Sean Payton.
That was dirty what you just did.
He beat Sean Payton. He beat our good friend Bill Belichick, and he beat Mike McCarthy. So 3-0. Sam Howell, he's like a little mini Tua back there.
Stud.
He is a stud. Sam Howell is firmly the guy. He's my guy. He's our guy. He is the guy in DC. I actually feel very, very good about the future of this team right now. And it might be like week to week. I can get down on him sometimes. But the last 2 games that Sam Howell's played, I think they have the most passing yards in the NFL over 2-game span. Sam Howell is, without a doubt, the guy. Very happy with him.
Top 15 quarterback.
Top 15 quarterback in the NFL. I would say top 12.
Top 12
I put Sam
quarterback.
Howell, and guess where he is? That's like when Ravel says, I own upwards of 9 pieces of merchandise. I think he is a top 12 quarterback in the NFL. I am very excited about the future of this team. In fact, I'm now talking myself back into playoffs because someone's got to get that 7th spot. And Max, you better watch out. If you get the 2 seed and the Commanders get the 7 seed, you don't want to play us again, Max.
No, you don't want to do it.
Don't
You
want to do it. But Hank, I'll let you have the floor because I know you watched the game.
By the way, the top 12, the qualifiers that were used was
This
quite
year,
something to
right
watch.
now.
It was right now, so it was like eliminating Matt Stafford, Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, like
They're not playing right now.
all
are they?
these guys.
Current starting quarterbacks.
And it was like literally like the last 2 weeks.
Current starting quarterbacks in the NFL, top 12.
Because you had one that was wild that you said.
I had a couple that were wild.
Yeah, that were just wild.
What were they?
You want him over Deshaun,
Yes.
even though we took contracts out.
Yep.
Okay.
Gino?
Yes.
Yep.
The Stafford
Josh
one
Dobbs?
was because Stafford one was. I was
He
like,
didn't
if he
start.
plays next week, PFT was like, yeah, I'd take Sam Howell over Matt Stafford.
Yes, I would still do that next week.
I would not.
That might be insane. I actually think that Matt Stafford is great and very underrated still as a quarterback somehow. But
That changed quickly. You have a future on the Rams win total.
I do, over 7.5. But that was before Matt Stafford got hurt.
Okay.
He's hurt. He's got a dislocated thumb, Big Cat. I want my quarterback with 2 great thumbs.
Hank.
It was a mid-off. Gross game to watch. Patriots are very uninspiring, per usual.
I wouldn't say that the Patriots are mid.
No, they're actually
need to have that
the
conversation.
worst team in the
Isn't
AFC.
mid like a battle of average teams?
Yeah, it is.
Hank-
Hank's mid is doing a lot of work on that.
Hank, fact or fiction, they're the worst team in the AFC.
Well, mids is the worst type of weed.
No, it's
No, it's
actually
not.
one of the best.
No, it is.
What
No,
about- what about
mid is
swag?
average.
That's mids.
No,
No, that's
you don't know
worse
what
than
mids is.
You don't know what mids is.
Mids is mid.
What about oregano? That's the worst type of weed.
That's bunk.
You're talking
Okay, so bunk is so the Patriots are bunk.
I guess, yeah, the Patriots are ass. They're
Hank, fact or fiction is the worst team in the AFC.
fact?
about? Yeah.
Record-wise, they are the worst.
So then fact, that's fact. Statistical
That's
fact.
Statistical fact.
Good for the draft position, which at this point is all I'm rooting for.
You are right now.
I did want to get that Lighthouse on the board. I didn't want to have to admit that the
Fifth.
Lighthouse is not. Yeah, that's we got work to do there.
You right now are taking Brock Bowers.
That's
baby
exciting.
Gronk.
That's pretty exciting.
Baby Gronk. But I have to, I have to admit the Lighthouse is not real. I have to make a PowerPoint presentation, which is just more work, which sucks.
You have to admit what we all knew.
Although the team did release a really cool video today of a drone panning up from a water, federally funded, and you could see the lighthouse in the background, which I got some tips from the inside was not coincidence.
Yeah, so it was interesting because you showed me that video acting like it was proving something, and the drone starts off like 100 feet in the air and then goes up 200 feet in the air. So I don't know. I don't think you can see it from the waterway. It didn't really prove anything.
Are we boring you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Just yawned in our face.
I think you knew the lighthouse was fake all along, and you're like defend the wall. Patriots Hank kind of came out a little bit.
It should be a relief. You can just admit it.
Not really. It's like I have nothing to root for. I said we got to rebuild around the Lighthouse. The Lighthouse was kind of like that was my Super Bowl this year.
And now you don't have anything.
I actually think Gronk could shotgun the lighthouse. That's how flimsy and tasteless it is.
Do you think there's a chance that Bill Belichick watched Sam Howell and was like top 12 quarterback?
I thought so.
I want to coach this guy.
He was looking real hard when Sam Howell was on the field.
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to go coach the Washington, whatever the fuck they're called next year.
You think he hates the lighthouse? I bet he does. That's like some Mickey Mouse
It's
shit.
only been bad memories.
Yeah, Belichick doesn't like publicity stunts like that. He likes football. He likes a football team.
Well, no, but
If only there was a team that had been called the football team at one point he could work with.
He's obviously, a big fan of the troops, service members. He knows the importance of things like lighthouses for the Navy and things of that nature. So I'm
Coast
sure he's
Guard.
a supporter, yeah.
Well, what about a team that's literally called the Commanders that's stationed 30 minutes away from the Naval Academy?
Fact or fiction, they're not going to use that name because Josh Harris hasn't been wearing the merch.
That's a fact, but also they're
So.
really close to the Naval Academy. So fact or fiction, he loves the Naval Academy.
Fact?
That's a fact. That's a fact, Jack. I did like Ron Rivera in the post game. A lot of coaches are like Victory Monday. We're taking work off. Rivera, in true, I'm already fired in. I know it guy fashion, goes, we're doing Victory Monday. Everybody's like, yeah. He's like, and Victory Tuesday.
Oh.
No work till Wednesday.
Nice.
That's what I would do if I was in his shoes right now. I'd be like, you know what? Let's just nobody show up to work till Friday.
Yeah, we're good. We're good here.
We don't really need to do this.
What PFT, how many wins do you think the Commanders need to get to get the 7th seed now that you're back into playoff mode?
I think 9.
Okay, should we take a look?
Go through the schedule.
Can you give me their wins?
Yep, go through the schedule.
All right. At Seahawks.
Win. Sam
Now
Howell's
they're
better
at
than
5.
Geno.
Now they're 5. Giants at home.
Win.
They struggle with the Giants.
That wasn't Tommy DeVito, though.
Okay. At Cowboys.
Loss.
Okay, so they're still at
Credit
6.
to me for being realistic.
Dolphins.
Loss.
Okay.
Well, Dolphins suck against good teams. Are we good?
No,
team?
you wouldn't.
We're not.
be
We're
at
not.
this
We're
time.
not. We're not.
At Rams. That's a win.
Yeah, win.
Yeah. At Jets.
I'm gonna say loss. We don't play well at
Okay,
MetLife.
this is bad for you.
We don't play well at MetLife.
Niners.
Loss.
Cowboys.
Win. Sam Howell beat him at home last year.
That's 8 wins.
We'll find another one.
And you also gave yourself a win at the Seahawks.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll beat. Yeah. There's what? Hang on.
You
No, we're gonna make the playoffs.
I looked at the schedule and I was like, wait.
Why are you bringing math into this?
I'm just asking. Let's find it.
I gave that take from my balls, not
let's
from my
find
brain.
it. Let's find it. Okay. I think the Dolphins might be a win.
Say the schedule again.
All right. At Seahawks.
Win.
Okay. So now you're at 5.
Yeah.
I
know what I'm going to do.
Giants at home.
Yeah, win.
Okay. At Cowboys.
Loss.
Okay. Dolphins.
Loss.
In December.
At home.
At home.
No, I'm going to be honest and say loss.
At Rams.
Win.
At Jets.
Win.
Okay, there it is.
Yep.
Niners.
Loss.
Cowboys.
Win.
Wait, that's still 8.
How do we do that?
How do we do that? You have this is going to be some great podcasting.
All right, do it. Fuck it. Run it back and count
All right,
again.
here we
Run
go.
it back
You
and
have
count
4
again.
wins
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
All right, I'm counting. At Seahawks.
Win.
Giants.
Win.
At Cowboys.
Loss.
Dolphins.
Loss.
At Rams.
Win.
At Jets.
Win.
Niners.
Loss.
Cowboys, there's the
Win.
9.
That's
Okay,
9. That's 9.
I counted wrong
And we're the
second time.
playoffs as the 7th seed, right where we want to be. Going up to the bank. Going up to the bank and taking on.
And you have your tiebreaker against the Falcons.
Could you stop saying that the Eagles are the 1 seed in the NFC right now? I don't know why you have just magically put them
I
at the
want
2
this
seed.
so bad.
Because you should have lost
I
the
want
Cowboys.
this so bad.
But you win the football.
I might put a future on the Commanders to make the playoffs just because I want this so bad.
I might do it. I'm so far ahead that I'm going to put a future on the Commanders to win a playoff game because they're going to play the Eagles.
So next week's a must win.
Must win.
Because when you look at the schedule, you have to win next week.
Yeah, and if we lose that, then I'll just switch either the Dolphins game or the at Dallas game to a must win.
Yeah.
It's that easy.
Yeah, or the
It's a
Niners
must
at
win.
home. Yeah.
It's a must win.
Oh.
Yeah, the Niners might be in first place in the NFC by that time.
Okay,
And
Commanders in
nothing
the
to play
playoffs.
for. Commanders, it could happen.
Hank, you want to do your schedule?
Sure.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up. You have 2 wins right now.
Patriots?
The Patriots have 2 wins. This one's going to test everyone's football fandom. Next week in Germany against the Colts.
Win.
At Giants.
Win.
At Chargers.
Win.
Okay. At Steelers.
Win.
You still think you're mid.
Chiefs.
Win.
Okay. At Broncos.
Win.
At Bills.
At the Bills.
At the
Yeah.
Bills.
Loss.
Oh, you remember that Monday night
Jets.
game, though?
Win.
So you guys are going to finish 9-8, same as the Commanders.
That's pretty good.
So today was a mid-off. Yeah. All right.
Today was a true mid-off.
2 9-8 teams going at it. They're both going to have like 6 wins this season.
Oh man.
No, I mean, I could be talked in the Commanders. Ron Rivera's probably giving him Monday and Tuesday off so he can go do job interviews somewhere. That's a classic move. But I am feeling good. I'm feeling good about the future of the franchise just because
Sam Howell.
you have a good quarterback. The defensive line looked good today with
You
the
have
2
draft
fill-ins.
picks.
We got draft picks. We got a new owner, new name probably, new stadium in the next like 4 years.
You might have gotten your groove back.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. If you're buying stock, you should buy stock in Washington right now.
Is there a chance
Nancy
the
Pelosi,
Patriots
she's
are,
ahead of that.
is there a chance the Patriots are really bad
Oh, they're very bad. Yeah.
and you won by 3?
Yeah. No, that's also it's a possibility.
We
I mean, have you listened to me react to any Commanders win before on this show? It's the same thing.
Oh,
I get excited, but I can't change who I am. Like,
No, you can't.
I
You
feel
can't.
good about this win. I feel good about having a quarterback that can throw the ball.
Yeah,
It's been so long since I've had that.
it's huge. If you beat the Cowboys twice, you could maybe even finish second in the NFC East.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? All right,
Cowboys first, Commanders second, Eagles third.
Eagles third. All right, Packers Rams. This game stunk. Brett Rippon, and I mean the Rams stink anyway, but then when you put in Brett Rippon, they're extra stinky.
Yeah, he was hilarious, but not in a fun hilarious
He
way.
wasn't
like,
funny enough.
like a sad. He did have a very funny fumble.
Yeah, and the Packers, Jordan Love looked good. They finally ran the ball, which I think every Packers fan on the face of the earth has been asking them to do. Aaron Jones ran the ball 20 times effectively. And, this game was not fun to watch, but good for the Packers.
So I'm going to turn this over to recurring guest, a part of my take, actually, Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
Because he had the best take on this game. He said, at what point do we start the Rams coaching conversation?
Oh!
I think you just did, Samuel. I think you just did.
Whoa, he's on TV right there.
That's wild.
That is wild.
I would like to say that Samuel brings up a good point, although I don't think that we should talk about firing Sean McVay because Sean McVay is, without a doubt, probably a top 5 coach in the NFL. But I do think that he should be allowed to work remotely with a newborn. Like at this game, did he really need to show up for this game?
No.
He could have done this all on Zoom and just chilled at his house where he does It's like when they do the draft and the Rams don't have any picks. That's how Sean McVay should coach the Rams when they play in a game and he doesn't have a starting quarterback.
Yeah,
Just let
I'd
him-
agree.
Let him work from home.
I want to remind everyone because this is always tough when a team wins a couple games to start the season and everyone's like, ooh, they might be good. The Rams were not supposed to be good this year. They weren't.
Mhm.
They were not. They were not supposed to be in the playoffs. I think their win total was like 6.5 preseason. So it's not really surprising that they stink. They stink.
What did it for me was watching Matt Stafford play because when he's healthy and he plays, he's still really, really good.
Yeah.
And he can get you to win some games that you should not win just with some ridiculous throws. So I'm not ready to put the Rams at like the bottom of the barrel when Matt Stafford's playing. When he's not playing, they're very, very bad.
Yeah,
I
I think
they're unwatchable.
I think they're pretty bad even when he's playing. But yeah, I thought they were going to be bad going into this year, and they won a couple games early that everyone was like, "Ooh, watch out for the Rams."
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of what we expected. So I don't think Sean McVay's job should be his seat should be hot.
No, because if you even let him know that, he's just going to go to TV.
Yeah. And the Packers, good for the Packers. Their their draft pick went down to the 7th pick today. So good win. You need those wins.
Yep.
Someone's got to get the 7th seed.
It's a win where on Sunday you're watching it. If you're a Packers fan, you're like, hell yeah. All right. We went up to Lambeau, got a win. Saw a bunch of guys in the stands wearing their deer hunting outfits that they wear when the season starts. That's always
I
fun.
think it starts next weekend.
Oh, next weekend?
Yeah, next weekend.
Okay, next weekend you'll see a lot of camo up in the stands.
I
A
don't
lot of
want
real
people
tree.
to clown you.
A lot of real tree. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, don't want another mistake of no, I was doing a bit like when we do daylight savings time
That's
every
right.
year.
That's right.
We always say that hunting season starts 1 week early.
Yes.
But yeah, if you're a Packers fan, today was fun because you got to see win, but then you're going to sit down on Monday and be like, I really wish we had not won that game.
Yeah. But Jordan Love did look better.
Yeah.
Better. He does. I think he spent too much time with Aaron Rodgers.
You think so?
Yeah.
Got a contact high?
No, some of his movements are Aaron Rodgers-esque. Like, I can throw this ball from any angle kind of thing, or like backpedaling. It's like, but you're not Aaron Rodgers.
Watching him run the Aaron Rodgers hard count is tough.
Right. I don't
It's like
know.
we're
That's
watching
just a working theory that I have. I don't know if Packers fans are going to say I'm really stupid, but there's just a couple times where it's like he's almost doing an imitation of Aaron Rodgers until he releases the throw, and it's like, wait, that throw is not Aaron Rodgers.
It's like a really shitty cover of a song that you love.
Right.
I think
maybe I'm way off. Maybe I'm just seeing it with hater glasses on.
you might be. I think that's a
But I
distinct
also
possibility.
think the Packers fans might
but
silently agree with me.
I don't think that real fans of the team think that Jordan Love is the future.
No, but he won the game today, so they probably should give him more time.
Yeah.
Probably give him more time. All right, another stinky game. Browns 27, Cardinals 0. Clayton Tune, poor Clayton Tune. To start your career against the Browns and this defense, he was sacked 7 times. He threw 2 picks. The Cardinals offense had 58 net offensive yards. They were 1 for 12 from third down, and the Browns got their first shutout since 2007.
Yeah, they had 17 net yards passing, 41 yards rushing, 7 sacks, 3 turnovers. The Browns at home, 4-1. Stefanski improves to 18-7 after a loss. They always win after they lose. And if you're a Browns fan that's like, run the damn ball, Stefanski, you got your wish today. You got funted. It was one of them had 20 carries. One of them had 13, and they both averaged like 2.2 yards per carry. But it was about just like running the ball, establishing the run, killing the clock, knowing that the Cardinals are not nearly good enough to beat you with that defense. So you just play like keep away.
Yeah, and that's what they did. They absolutely smothered them. It was never a doubt. Deshaun back, looked bad to start, started to kind of find himself later.
That touchdown pass off a helmet really got him going.
That one was crazy, but he did also throw a nice ball to Amari Cooper later in the game. I guess if you're, Browns fans, in perfect Browns fashion, you kill the Cardinals. First shutout since 2007. Deshaun comes back, starts to kind of feel like he's finding his legs, and then your star offensive lineman, Jedrick Willis, gets carted off. Yeah, that was. It's just like this is with the whole Browns season. Whenever they have a little bit of happiness, it's like, nope, let's smash it real quick.
And so you talked about the roller coaster Browns season. I think the schedule makers designed it that way.
Yeah.
Because if you look at their next series of games, like they are probably going to lose to the Ravens. They are probably going to beat the Steelers. And, then they have the Broncos. They'll probably win that game too. But they're pretty much designed to go win-loss, win-loss, win-loss with a couple back-to-back wins sprinkled in.
Yeah. Yeah. It's torturous Browns season because when their defense is playing well and Deshaun is back and looks okay, it's like, wow, this could be a playoff team, like a very good team. And then whenever they have that moment, like a catastrophic injury happens to one of their best players and they fall back down to earth, they're like, here's some PJ Walker.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's very tough. If you're the Cardinals now and you got Kyler coming back.
Yeah.
Do you think Kyler really wants to be back?
Well, the Cardinals are really, really bad. They've lost 4 out of their last 5 games by double digits, and the only one they didn't was that Ravens game where they snuck in the back door.
Mm-hmm.
They're really, really bad, but I think Kyler might be playing for his job.
I think he is. He's playing for a contract. He's playing for a job.
He's playing for his job with the Arizona Cardinals, which you could make the argument he doesn't want that job anymore.
I think he's playing for a job in terms of a contract, like a starting caliber contract for anyone.
He just signed one.
Well, what's his extension?
Didn't he sign one? Remember the whole video game thing?
Yeah, the whole video game thing. But what's their out on that?
Let's see.
Because like NFL contracts aren't real.
No, of course.
But usually for a quarterback, 2 to 3 years is probably very real.
His potential out is not till 2028.
Okay, then he is playing for it.
6 years, $219 million. 5 years, $230 million contract.
I completely forgot about that contract extension.
So he's not playing for a contract, but I do think he is playing for his job on the Arizona Cardinals because if he comes back, doesn't play well, they have the number 1 pick. We've seen it before.
Then they'll trade him.
They moved on from Josh Rosen after 1 year.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kyler Murray is way better than Josh Rosen, but it's not crazy to think they'd be like, all right, let's draft Caleb Williams and trade Kyler Murray somewhere.
Or Drake May.
But the question is, if you're Kyler Murray, do you want your job on the Cardinals? I don't know. I think I'd want my job somewhere else.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're Kyler Murray, do you want to come back and play right now? I probably wouldn't.
But he's...
Wait, can they look into his screen time that he's been doing on his iPad?
I think
while he's been hurt?
Well, so if he doesn't come back, if he's not activated fully, I think that's it for the season. So that'd be weird.
It would be, but
I think he has too much pride.
But let's think about it from the perspective of if the Cardinals truly believe that Kyler Murray is their future guy, which I don't think that they necessarily totally believe that right now.
Correct.
But if they did, would you want Kyler Murray as the Cardinals to come back and risk injury in a season that's already gone? You probably wouldn't, right? But Kyler Murray, he doesn't want to come back and play because he probably doesn't want to get injured and risk his chances of being a starting quarterback for not the Cardinals.
I think football players want to play football.
Is he a football player?
I think he's a football player.
Is he a baseball player?
That's a good question. If Kyler Murray comes back, I think the Cardinals can win a couple games.
See how confident that knee is.
Yeah, it's a mess though.
It is.
Either way, it's a
mess. It's a mess.
It's a mess. And I actually feel bad for Jonathan Gannon because it's a mess.
I think Jonathan Gannon is actually doing the perfect job in what they wanted him to do.
Yeah.
Because
just be bad.
Knowing that Kyler was going to be out until November at the start of the season, they are in full-on tank mode.
And again, you got to live off that Cowboys win for like a month and a half.
Yeah, it's great.
Everyone's like, man, the Cardinals are frisky.
Yeah, you got an entire Monday's worth of Skip Bayless being super, super pissed off at the Cowboys because of you.
Yeah, that's worth anything.
Yep.
Okay, next, last game of the early slate, Saints 24, Bears 17. We don't have to spend a lot of time on this. I would just say that kind of pathetic that the Saints only won by 7 when they had the Bears turn the ball over 5 times.
I actually agree with you because I don't think I've ever seen a team run more plays in the fourth quarter, like deep inside their opponent's territory, and not score points than the Saints did today.
Kind of pathetic.
Yeah.
The Bears had 5 turnovers. They doinked a kick, and they only lost by 7.
Yeah.
Kind of pathetic. And also, I don't think Derek Carr got sacked. Kind of pathetic.
That is pretty pathetic. This was a Taysom Hill game, though. Taysom was 1 for 1 passing, 3 yards and a touchdown. He had 11 carries for 52 yards. And as we know about Taysom Hill, I think when he carries the ball 7 times in a game, they're 18-1.
Yeah.
The Saints are. And then he had 4 receptions for 16 yards and a touchdown. So they built the entire offense out of Taysom Hill today, which is always great to watch. It does work. I still don't know how the Saints didn't blow out the Bears. It seemed like they should be winning by like 20 points for the entire fourth quarter.
Well, Tyson Bagent was really good if you only do the first 3 quarters.
Yep.
He was 15 for 19, 201 yards, 2 TDs, and a pick.
Yeah. You can hang the banner too, Big Cat.
Fourth quarter, he was 3 for 11, 19 yards, 2 picks.
Yeah, it's bad fourth quarter. Had some really bad interceptions.
Maybe he didn't know the game was 4 quarters.
But you can hang the banner. You extended Montez Sweat.
Yeah, okay. Real quick, I understand the Bears are a joke. I make fun of the Bears more than anyone. They're a joke of a franchise. They make like terrible mistakes at every turn. There are moments where I have to push back because people just like it's free clicks to dunk on the Bears, and the amount of people that move the goalposts with Montez Sweat, where Montez Sweat said one thing when they asked him, "Have you thought about your extension?" He's like, "I haven't even found a house to build or house to sleep in yet," and everyone was like, "Ha." They're not going to re-sign him. Like, the whole internet did this and dunked on the Bears. And then what happens a day later? They re-sign him to exactly what we thought was going to happen, and everyone just moves the goalpost to be like, overpay. Can't believe they did that. You can't have it every single way. You can't always be dunking on the Bears when you tell us that it's a bad move because he's not going to re-sign, and then the minute he resigns being like, you guys paid him too much.
Yeah, it was
bullshit.
When I saw that he had the quote of like, "Oh, I haven't thought about the extension," it just gave me a 5% chance of him doing the thing that
I wasn't even talking about you specifically. It was the whole internet.
There's a lot of people. I from day one, right when the trade happened, I told you they're going to re-sign him. This would be the worst move in the history of football if they signed him as a rental for a team that's not going to do anything this year, and then paid a second-round pick for him and then lost him in free agency. That's a level of incompetence that I don't think any franchise is capable of right now. I was just hoping that he would use the Bears for like 7 weeks and then be like, you know what? I'm a Commander at heart. I'm going to re-sign with the Commanders.
Yeah, and I get it. The Bears are easy clicks. They're easy to make fun of. I make fun of them a lot, but there definitely are points in time where I have to be like, shut up, everyone. Like, you can't just keep dunking on the Bears when they actually make good moves for the long term. And you just have to find a way to like change the narrative to be like, the Bears suck. The Bears do suck, but this was a good move. They finally got a defensive player that they needed desperately because when you have a really bad team, you need to upgrade every position. So they upgraded a position.
Yeah, and
he's good.
And he's a great player.
And they should sign Jalen Johnson next. And the Bears still stink. And guess what, America? You get to watch the Bears versus Panthers on Thursday night.
That's a real test. Between that and the Germany game on Sunday.
It's a must-win for the Bears.
It is.
Yeah, because we have the Panthers pick.
Oh, yeah,
we have to win.
Yeah, so
we have to win this
must
game.
Win. Update on the Saints coin. I think that now is officially the time where we should start respecting the Saints coin because it's 9-0.
Yeah.
So the Saints coin had this as a win. They did the thing where they flip a coin for every game on the schedule. It hasn't lost yet. And then they have next weekend the Vikings as a win. This Saints coin, I think, could be legit.
Yeah, it could be legit. We're watching it. Last thing, I'm just going to say this real quick. I think Ryan Poles has made some mistakes. Eberflus, Chase Claypool. But Montez Sweat was a smart move, and you have to just admit that him getting DJ Moore and the Carolina Panthers first-round pick was a great fucking haul.
Yeah.
Like, people will say that he's incompetent. You can't just pretend those two things didn't happen.
I'm just gonna get
And
you
Darnell Wright's very good.
I'm gonna get you ready for the counter argument to that, Big Cat.
Go ahead.
Counter argument to that.
Oh, they're going to screw up the picks. They have some more picks.
No, I was
Oh,
gonna
that's
say
usually
that.
what people say.
That's a good counter argument.
Yeah,
though.
that is. It is. It's fair, and it's probably true.
Would C.J. Stroud have been available with that pick?
Well, I mean, I don't know. You can't.
I'm getting you ready. I'm getting you ready.
No, I know. People will start saying that. Oh, you could have taken C.J. Stroud. I don't know. You had to keep, like, you have Justin Fields. I don't. That one is a little bit of a stretch to me. Do the Patrick Mahomes all you want because that's fair, but that one's a little bit of a stretch.
Because in reality, I don't think that the Bears were going to give up on Justin Fields at that point.
Right, and also the plan was, like, if Justin Fields ended up being the guy, everything, the whole table was set. Like, because then you had 2 picks and a franchise quarterback. So that's worth trying to take that risk.
Yeah, they got a good haul.
Yeah.
They definitely did.
Also, CJ Stroud probably would have been terrible with the Bears because everyone's terrible with the Bears.
Shout out to
I can say that the Bears suck. You just can't.
Shout out to Dennis Allen because he has 5 wins now. Do you know what his previous record was in terms of his fastest time to 5 wins in the season?
It had to be like week 13.
Week 15.
Okay.
It was week 15.
He's
so
the worst coach ever.
Dennis Allen is still bad.
Again, the Saints should be embarrassed that they only won by 7.
But he figured out how to just make the entire offense Taysom Hill.
Yeah. I wish we could put Tyson Bagent and Justin Fields into the same quarterback and just make it one.
You want to combine the right parts, though.
I want to combine Tyson Bagent's
his tattoos.
No, his like decisiveness and like I'm going to throw the football and then maybe give him Justin Fields' arm strength and running ability.
Justin Fields' arm strength, but with Tyson Bagent's dad, the arm wrestler.
Yes.
To have like a
the
super
moxie,
strong arm.
Yes. Because Tyson Bagent, he sees something and he's like, I'm going to throw it here. And it doesn't always work because he doesn't really have that strong of an arm. But he sees it and he throws it.
I think Tyson Bagent has made himself a lot of money in these past couple weeks because he hasn't played bad enough to be like, oh, that guy can't be a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Like he has established himself as the only thing is the tattoos. He might have too many tattoos.
Yeah. And the fourth quarter
and
when he
too much moxie.
19 yards.
I mean, if you're looking for a backup quarterback, like you're going to get a guy that's going to throw. That's kind of it's par for the course for the backup guy. Yeah,
he's a gunslinger.
But I think he's made himself some money and might have a decent career as a backup quarterback.
Maybe.
Now, Hank, as to your mid-off point, the NFC South is a mid-off.
Yep.
It is the biggest mid-off in the
mid-off.
history of mid-off.
I think the Saints
They
are the
always
best.
are kind of. Though.
Yeah. I think the Saints are the best team, but I don't know.
Yeah.
They struggled to beat the Bears when they got 5 turnovers.
I can be convinced otherwise. I can be talked into any team that's not the Panthers from that division on a week-by-week basis.
Yeah. I got to look that up. Maybe, Jake, you can look that up for me for tomorrow. What is the closest score, final score, when a team had the turnover margin won by 5? Because that is pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
5-0, and they only lost by 7.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do the afternoon games. We're going to take one more break, and we'll finish up with the afternoon games.
The afternoon games are going to be brought to you by Netflix again. Netflix Takeover.
Takeover.
We love Netflix. We love all their sports content that they put out there. I love Drive to Survive. I don't care about F1, but I watched Drive to Survive. It was great. Quarterback was awesome. Full Swing was incredible. A lot of golfers I didn't even know that I cared about that now I care very, very deeply about. If you look across everything that they're doing with Untold, the Manti Te'o story was incredible. The Johnny Football documentary was awesome. They also did the minor league hockey story, right? Mm-hmm. About the Danbury Trashers. Must watch that. And again, the Beckham documentary is incredible. You can check them out. They've got untold tales of the athletes that you never thought that you knew, and other tales about the athletes that you thought you knew, and you find new stuff about them. In sports, the scoreboard doesn't always tell the full story, but Netflix always does. They got stories about dads that happen to be world-class quarterbacks. They've got upsets, injuries, comebacks, victories, and you can find it all on Netflix Sports. These are the stories that turn us all into fans and give everyone something to cheer for, to feel for, to hold your breath for, and get up out of your seat for. You know what else was a great documentary? The one about the America's Cup, where it was Australia against the New York Yacht Club. I hate the New York Yacht Club because of that documentary. It was incredible. I don't care about sailing. I don't think I've ever been on a sailboat in my entire life, but that got me to care about it. Great documentaries, great features on Netflix. Check it out. Netflix Sports, your next obsession awaits.
Okay, afternoon games. Raiders 30, Giants 6. The big story before this game was Jay Glazer's report that the final days of Josh McDaniels went exactly how you expected the final days of Josh McDaniels to go. They had a team meeting. All the players voiced how much they hated Josh McDaniels.
Yep.
Then Josh McDaniels, sensing that he was losing the room, asked Antonio Pierce to stand in front of the locker room and kind of rally the guys. He talked about culture. He talked about his Giants teams winning Super Bowls. He talked about his Giants team beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl, which were coached by Josh McDaniels. And then afterward, Josh McDaniels says, don't talk about the Patriots.
Yeah.
And that's just the perfect Josh McDaniels. I don't know if it's true. I would assume it is because Jay Glazer. But Josh McDaniels being that butthurt about a guy trying to rally the troops and being like, don't talk about the Patriots like that.
Mm-hmm. For another coach, you might think that he was like joking, being like, hey, why you got to come at me like that? With Josh McDaniels, I believe it.
Yeah.
I'll believe any story. It's like the Urban Meyer Jaguar situation when there's a story written in 6 months in The Athletic and it talks about all the stuff that went wrong in Vegas. I'm going to eat that shit up. It's going to be great. You could say anything, and I will 100% believe that Josh McDaniels actually did it and was responsible for it in Las Vegas.
Yes, 100%. So the bounce back happened because the Raiders, when you fire a guy like Josh McDaniels, every team should actually hire Josh McDaniels for a game just so you can fire him, because I bet you the team would perform that much better. You could tell just like right off the jump, the Giants stink. But the Raiders were playing with a lot more purpose, like a lot more energy. If you could feel it, and they completely killed the Giants. Obviously, Daniel Jones gets hurt again, which sucks. And Tommy DeVito comes in, and he threw back-to-back interceptions on back-to-back passes. But he did score a touchdown.
He did
score a touchdown. He went 15
better.
for 20 for 175 yards.
He looked better in the second half. When he first got in, it seemed like it was going to be another like -2 net passing yards day for old Tommy D, for old TD. The Raiders, I like the bounce back with Antonio Pierce. He's a good interim coach. I don't know if his interim magic is going to carry over because he was like super conservative. He wasn't like animated enough for my liking for an interim coach on the sidelines. I think the Raiders should get a new interim coach every single week for the rest of the season.
I like that.
I think they should bring in anyone that's ever
Bisaccia.
been. Bring Bisaccia back.
Will Compton,
bring the boy in. Rob Ryan should get a chance to be an interim coach for them.
Coach O.
A Ouija board that has a connection to Al Davis. That's just like throw it deep to our fast guy. Tom Cable.
Yep.
Bring back all these guys, all the legends of the game. Dan Campbell will probably do it on their bye. Oh, it's this week. Dan Campbell will probably do it.
Yeah.
He probably won't give a shit. Like bring in all the interim coach all-stars and get 1 week of emotion out of them.
John Gruden.
Oh, Gruden.
Maybe John Gruden and the mustache.
Yeah, Gruden would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Do the Ask Madden play calling for 1 week. Have John Madden coach your team.
Yeah. Virtual John Madden to actually figure out how to coach your team. Art Shell you could bring back.
AI John Madden, except it's just Mark Davis dressed up as John Madden on the sidelines.
Hugh Jackson?
No, I wouldn't.
He was a former Raider coach.
I don't wish that upon any man. Art Shell. Yeah.
Art Shell, yeah. Lane Kiffin?
Yeah.
Once the Ole Miss season's over, why not? I do think Antonio Pierce was conservative, but when Tommy DeVito comes in the game, you can be as conservative as you want.
You go into just
mode. When Tommy DeVito came in the game, it was in the middle of the first quarter. I live bet the Giants under 12.5 points, which was a thrill. It's like one big play and I'm fucked.
Yeah.
And I was never really fucked.
In situations like that, I feel for Saquon Barkley. That's just like, well, they're just going to hand me the ball repeatedly. The Raiders had not scored 21 points in a game all season. In the first half, they scored 21 points.
Yeah.
In the first half, offensive genius Antonio Pierce really shows up Josh McDaniels. I love it.
Is Aiden O'Connell the best Aiden athlete ever? In American sports.
Aiden. I'm trying to think of other Aidens.
He's the best Aiden quarterback ever.
I'm just going to type in to Google Aiden and see what autocorrects.
I think he's the only Aiden quarterback ever. I looked that up.
Aiden.
I mean, let's say that. We'll bleep that.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, he's probably
I think he might
better.
be. Yeah.
He's the only Aiden quarterback I could find.
I think so.
So he might be the best.
I'm just going to say NFL players named Aiden.
Aiden Hutchinson's a good answer. I think he's number one Aiden right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might get a bunch of Aidens coming up.
Yeah,
Feels like a name
They're
that
gonna be like the Jalen's of like 10 years from now.
Yeah, I think that's gonna happen. But so he was the first.
He was the first. He's a groundbreaker.
Yeah,
He
good
broke
for
the
him.
Aiden barrier.
He did. But the Raiders, they were feeling it, like the change so much, because it really does. It probably is the greatest feeling in the world to have Josh McDaniels not in your life anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just by every account, he's just a terrible person to be around. There was a picture that went viral. It was an angle of Mark Davis walking on the field, and someone had reported that his bowl cut was gone. Thank God it's not.
No, it's creeping further back.
It was the side, yeah. But like that was the vibes going into this game for the Raiders. Like they mean business to such a level that Mark Davis changed his hair.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen.
No.
And
I saw it and I got so heartbroken that I went trying to find more pictures. Of like, thank God.
Well,
he still has
the only way that would be believable is because he's got a nice new girlfriend. She looks lovely. She's always in his box. And if she convinced him to cut
she's
their,
an Australian singer, right?
she's
I think so.
famous in her own right.
Yep.
She's a model. She's got, was it VSCO? Is that what's in her profile, Hank? Is that what the kids have?
You hit that up, Hank?
Yep. Yeah. Maybe a girl could convince him, but I still think that Mark Davis is too strong.
I don't even think so. I think he'd just be like, all right, you're not for me.
He'd be like, these hoes can't change me.
Yeah. Listen, I'm a package deal.
Yeah.
The bowl cut comes with the package.
Mhm. It's part of his allure.
It is. He's mysterious.
Like
that.
if you were to date a guy like that, I don't think that the bowl cut would be the thing that would be a deal breaker.
Right. And it's also like when you see Mark Davis and he has a lot of money, I know he doesn't have a lot of money, but he has a lot of money because he owns the Raiders, which he might not be able to own because he might not be able to pay the taxes.
That's he doesn't have enough money.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough money. He has money theoretically.
Mm-hmm.
He owns a professional, an NFL team. He theoretically has a lot of money. And then he has that haircut. You're like, this guy's a freak.
He knows something.
He's probably the craziest.
Dresses in all white. He peacocks. That's what he does.
Right. Because it makes no sense.
No.
A man with that money, theoretically, should get a better haircut, but he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he's so alluring. Okay, yeah, that's our recap of the game. Colts 27, Panthers 13. The Panthers might be the saddest organization in the NFL right now.
Okay, so I was sitting down thinking about this because I think if we do the bleakest future draft all over again right now, I think the Panthers are number one because you just spent a number one overall pick on a quarterback that who knows if he's going to be good or not. But at this moment, you can't help but just focus all your attention on Houston. You want C.J. Stroud to start sucking immediately if you're a Panthers fan.
You have the wrong guy will devastate you. As someone who's done that many times before, wrong guy will devastate you, and you paid a first-round pick and DJ Moore for it.
Yeah, and you don't really like your owner. Don't care for him too much.
Micromanager.
Frank Reich is your head coach, and you just hired him, so you're probably not going to fire him this year. It's rare, but it has happened before where you fire a guy after 1 year. You're not too happy with the state of affairs in Charlotte right now.
Yeah, Bryce Young had 3 picks, 2 pick sixes. Kenny Moore, the second, had both the pick sixes, which is awesome.
And then Jim Irsay stunted on you after the game. Video of the year from Mr. Irsay.
Incredible.
Singing along, dancing along to Meek Mill in the locker room. It was all time.
Yeah.
I can't stop watching it. Mr. Irsay is the people's owner. Love him or hate him. He's going to put out content for you.
Yeah.
And this was an all-time video from him.
Also, the Colts, I'm happy they won because they keep their frisky tag.
Yeah.
If you're 3-6, it's hard to be frisky. If you're 4-5, you are frisky.
Yeah, and Minshew is on the road, is in Charlotte.
Yeah, he didn't light it up, but it doesn't matter. He didn't turn the ball over, which was huge. But yeah, their defense, the 2 pick sixes, the first one, there was like 40 seconds left in the first half, right? And he threw a pick six. That was tough.
Yeah.
That was tough. So yeah, I think Panthers fans might have it the worst right now.
It's bad.
You don't even get to do we can't wait for the draft.
Yeah, it's bad when Jim Irsay is just dropping his ass on you after the game.
Wrong guy. Every time CJ Stroud plays well, again, any Panthers fans want to reach out, I've been through it. I can talk you through it. When CJ Stroud wins like 2 Super Bowls and goes to 6, 7 straight AFC Championship games, and you're already one past Bryce Young on another guy that's not good, we can talk.
You can blame Tepper. You can blame David Tepper taking him out for dinner, being impressed with his order that scallops. That's when he decided that it was going to be Bryce Young.
You got to, when you trade up, you got to get the right guy.
Yep.
Again, speaking from experience, you
Yep.
got to get the right guy. You got to get the right guy. All right, last game. Cowboys 28, Eagles 23. Eagles 7-1. 8-1. There it is, Max. 8-1. Cowboys blew this game 10 different ways, but the Eagles win. Escape? It felt like an escape game.
That's fine. Yeah, escape for sure. I'm willing to admit escape.
Like, I weirdly watched this game. I had the Eagles. I was happy they covered, but I also walked away being like, maybe the Cowboys are for real. Because they actually played well offensively. Like, Dak had a good game. If he hadn't stepped out on that 2-point conversion, that was tough. But, yeah, like, I didn't think that I'm not down on the Cowboys after that game, which is weird to say. Because the Cowboys feels like they haven't won one of those games in a while.
It's also the perfect Dak game because he played so well. He played pretty well.
No, he played very well. He was
Yeah.
29 for 44, 374, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he played pretty well. And then he does the one thing that gives everybody all the ammo that they need to be like, look at Dak Prescott. He can't win a big game.
Yeah.
Because he has this brain fart and steps out of bounds. I
And
would
the
never
delay
have
of
stepped
game
out
was
of bounds.
also very bad.
Yeah, the delay game was bad. But, Max, so the reason why I say survived is because the Cowboys felt like everyone was open all day.
Yeah, secondary is a problem. Secondary is
A lot of injuries.
Big problem.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Hurts.
offense is still really good. They went into a little bit of let's not lose instead of let's win mode.
Yeah, they went up 11 in the second half, and it was like they kind of packed
It was
in
like
a
let's
little.
run the football and let's just like keep trying, because the Eagles are, you say this all the time, the Eagles are very good at running the football and like when they're up,
Shortening
and,
games.
and eating clock, and just the game goes to nowhere. It wasn't working. That wasn't happening, and they weren't adjusting. They were still trying to play like that same style of football of like, let's just eat a ton of clock this drive, eat a ton of clock this drive, and then they just kept getting 3 and outs. They had bad field position because of stops, so you can't be like too upset about those. But the secondary is a problem. The offense is not. Eagles are 8-1, and we just beat the Cowboys.
Here's a nice, because you're 8-1. You're top of the NFC. But a little bit of a silver lining. I think when the Eagles do lose in the playoffs in devastating fashion, you'll at least be like, I kind of saw this one coming.
There's a lot. Teams get hot. Teams get hot at different times.
Yeah.
And right now we're 8-1, and the Eagles are not hot.
Right. I think that's fair.
true.
That's a good assessment.
That's true. You're 8-1 and you haven't even peaked yet.
Jalen Hurts is obviously playing in hurt. I wouldn't say injured. I would say he's hurt.
So he doesn't or
Shout
does
out
look
Morgan
like
Morgan.
himself.
He's playing like he's not running. He's not running like himself right now. And
He took a shot to his knee today that I was amazed he wasn't injured from.
He's a tough motherfucker.
He is very
Tough as
tough.
fuck.
Yeah.
And we have a bye. We have a bye next week, and then go beat the Chiefs on Monday Night Football.
Oh, that's gonna be a
Is
great
the
game.
bye coming to you at a good time?
Couldn't be coming at a better time.
I think it's a perfect
time.
You guys are
Perfect time.
1-0 against the bye this year.
Yeah, it's huge. Next week the Eagles win. They win with a bye.
Bye should be player of the week for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Where's the game against the Chiefs?
I think it's
Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Oh, tough place to play.
We're gonna
Yeah, no,
learn a lot.
that's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a tough
That's a
game.
measuring stick game.
Tough place to play.
Yeah, I wish we could do whose line is it anyway. Although they're on a bye 2 next week, so maybe.
Oh, let's see. Can we do whose lines is it anyway?
I'm gonna say Chiefs.
You
2
probably can.
Chiefs 2.5.
I would say Chiefs 4.
I would say Chiefs 3.5, and it's gonna get bet down to 3.
I would say maybe 3.
1.5.
3 is my final answer. Do you have it?
Do we know how to look?
I'm looking, but it's not immediately available.
Shout out
Next-
Jerry Jones, by the way.
Next week's schedule is not looking good.
Jerry Jones went back to the well And after the Rangers won a World Series, he referred to World Series as being it's the absolute glory hole to have that elusive win to be the champion. Jerry, like 2 years ago, was like, I want me some glory hole. Jerry knows exactly what a glory hole is, by the way, but his PR people had to come in and clean it up and be like, no, he's not talking about sticking your dick through a hole in a bathroom stall. He's just talking about having window. That's what he's talking about, is window. No, Jerry Jones knows exactly what a glory hole. He is a big glory hole guy.
Huge glory hole guy. Guys, next week we're gonna have to. What do you got, Jake? Oh, does someone have the line?
I don't see anything official, but some people on Twitter are saying Chiefs -3, but nothing official.
Okay. Next week we're gonna struggle.
We're gonna be fine.
We're gonna find a way. But it just dawned on me: the Chiefs, Eagles, and Dolphins are on a bye. Those are 3 teams that are fun to watch.
Let's see. We got
The best game is Niners Jags.
Browns Ravens. Not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a good split. We got morning and then 6 and 4. Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Lions Chargers would be fun. We'll make fun. We'll have fun no matter what. We always do. Max, any comment on G-string gate?
I don't know if that could have been angles.
If people missed it, Eagles coach kind of had to jump out of the way of a play, and his pants started to creep down a little bit, and it looked like he was wearing a red G-string.
I'm not going to knock a guy's superstition sometimes.
Oh, superstitions, got it.
Or it might be like a turnover chain thing.
Yeah.
Where you get to wear that if you're the best coach in the building that week.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Dallas Goedert broke his arm.
Is that official?
Officially broke his arm.
So better than a sprain?
Yeah.
Can you sprain your forearm?
Oh, yeah.
You can sprain anything.
Sprain anything, dude.
Sure. I don't know if that's
So how long
true.
is he out for?
It didn't say. It was like expected to
I'm going to
miss.
guess 6 weeks.
Better than a sprain.
MRI tomorrow, Monday.
Better than a sprain. Oh, if he's having an MRI, he might also have a sprain. That might be a double whammy. Broke and a sprain.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
Bye week's coming at a great time.
Bye week's coming at a great time.
Get the
Bye
boys
week's coming at a
healthy.
great
Get the
time.
boys rested.
And you're 8-1.
Yeah.
You're up a game and a half on the rest of the NFC because the Lions didn't play today.
But you can lose.
Yeah, anyone could.
That's true. Anyone could
The
lose.
Chiefs just lost to the fucking Broncos.
That's true. Would you say where would you power rank the entire NFL though? Would you say the Eagles are 1? I wouldn't.
Who would? Where?
I'd put the Chiefs 1.
The Chiefs just lost to the fucking Broncos.
I know.
I put Ravens
Patrick
1.
Mahomes was sick.
Ravens 1, Chiefs 2.
I put
Jalen Hurts
I'd
is
put
playing on
Chiefs
one
1,
fucking leg.
Ravens 2, Eagles 3.
You guys are so recency bias out the fucking
Correct.
ass.
Yeah.
No duh,
That's
dude.
literally the NFL media.
Well, that's literally this show.
The Texans just lost to the Panthers last week.
PFT
Now
just said the Commanders are going to go to the
Stroud.
fucking playoffs,
Yeah,
and Sam Howell's a top 12 quarterback.
And they're going to beat the Eagles.
What are we talking
I'm in
about?
on the top 12 quarterback. Me and PFT were on
What
the
are we
same
talking
page.
about right now?
Listen, I will have no better ally in this whole Sam Howell thing than Max because Sam Howell's played like 2 of his
He
best
plays
games
so
ever
good against the Eagles.
So you're going to be
You
in
don't
my
want to
hole.
see him in the playoffs.
Max is in my hole. Yeah, you don't want to see us. You don't want to see us, Max.
Better
Imagine
get that
that.
one
What if-
seed,
what if
buddy.
What if Sam Howell beats you in the first round of the playoffs, Max?
That would suck. I could see it happening though.
I do think
really
the Eagles
good
are very
quarterback.
good. I just think that they are weirdish.
They're not dominant. That's the thing.
But,
their record's dominant.
I don't know what weirdish. Weirdish is doing a lot of work for
You
me
guys,
here.
you guys talk about each team and you're like, oh, this team hasn't beaten a good team. What have the Eagles not done?
They're very good.
What have they not done for you to not be sold on
You
them?
lost to the Jets.
Okay, everyone.
You felt like it was. I felt like the Cowboys, if that game had gone 5 more minutes.
You're like, we haven't beat good teams. We beat the Cowboys.
No, I never said you didn't beat
No,
good
but
teams.
that's what you say. No, but that's what you say about other teams.
Right,
And
but the Eagles have beaten good teams.
correct.
Right. So what are you getting mad about?
I don't know why you think that
Okay.
the Eagles are bad.
I don't think they're bad. I think they're very good. Do you think that something's a little off?
Jalen Hurts playing on one fucking leg.
Okay. Do you
Secondary-
agree
the secondary-
with me, PFT?
The second.
I think most Eagles
it's
fans would
literally
agree with me. Something's
secondary,
just a
that's it.
little bit off.
I think that
Secondary.
I think you know what,
Secondary. That's a good answer.
Max. How about this?
Max is mad.
So who has a bye week next week?
The Eagles, Dolphins, Chiefs, Rams.
Okay, so I'm going to say that even if the Ravens beat the Browns next week, no, here's what I'll do. Next week after the bye, I think the bye is coming at a better time for the Eagles than it is for the Chiefs. I'm going to catapult the Eagles over the Chiefs after the bye week in my power rankings because I think the Eagles are going to do better on the bye week.
That's good.
Get healthier than the Chiefs will. The Chiefs
also,
are already
it's an
good.
extended bye because they play Monday Night Football.
Exactly. So the Chiefs are going to make they're going to be fine with the bye week. They'll still be great when they come back. Eagles are really going to use this bye week to springboard up my power rankings. Is that fair, Max?
Sure. I mean,
He's very upset.
yeah.
You're in your feelings. Why are
Yeah,
you in
you
your
are.
feelings?
I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
You,
Get out
you
your
gave the
feelings.
right answer. The secondary is the thing.
You guys won.
Yes, the Eagles won.
Yeah.
And
You're making
you
it
guys
seem
think
like
that
they
they
didn't.
lost.
I just thought that, like, I was shocked with how easy the Cowboys were able to get first downs. At the end of the game, you were too. We were sitting next to each other, like, you kept on screaming, everything's open. They're always open.
You did say that they don't deserve to win this game.
Well, then,
You said that.
He did.
Yeah.
but then the Cowboys also didn't deserve to win the game.
So it was- no one deserved to
Because-
win that game.
yeah, I mean, they got back-to-back penalties.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, Max, it's because you had this game against the Cowboys where the Cowboys could have very easily at least tied, potentially won the game if Dak didn't just step out of bounds on that scramble to the right. And also the games against the Commanders where they looked like they were, at least deserving to be on the same field in the same conversation. Those three close wins that you had that didn't really feel like great wins, that's got you feeling a little bit.
What about the Dolphins?
Yeah, it was
Dolphins
a great game.
are frauds.
It was a great game.
You were just talking about how good the Chiefs are because about how they played against the Dolphins today.
I think the Chiefs are good.
The Chiefs
because
lost to
they're
the Broncos
really
last
good.
week.
I think the Chiefs are really good because they've won Super Bowls.
Max, right now you are a top 3 team in the NFL.
I had you 3. You want me to put you 1? I'll put you 1.
No.
No, wait till after the bye week.
I'll put you 1. I'm going to put you 1. Juggernaut.
The Eagles do have a gauntlet after the bye.
This
Chiefs,
is right when
Bills, Niners, Cowboys, Seahawks.
I'm going to bet on the Eagles to win the Super Bowl after this stretch because they're going to lose a couple of these games. And that's fine, Max. That's fine.
Yes, that's fine. Like if you lose in Arrowhead on Monday Night Football, like you're gonna be like, oh, the Eagles stink when they.
I
if
thought
they
it
lose
would
to the
be.
Chiefs.
I thought it would be wrong of us to be like, damn, the Eagles they crushed
What if
the
they
Cowboys.
beat the Chiefs?
I actually think they will.
Then I'll be like, Eagles are the best team in football.
I think they might beat the Chiefs.
100%, I would say they're the best team in football.
All right, fuck it, whatever.
Do you think it's fair that I have the Chiefs as the best team in football because they are the defending Super Bowl champs?
Well, it's who
Who
they
they
play in
beat?
the Super Bowl.
That's true. They never beat a good team in the Super Bowl. End scene. That was great.
You know what I love? You know what I love about
He took
Maxwell?
off his headphones.
He
took off his headphones.
I have to go pee.
They're 8-1. He took off his headphones.
Here's what I love about Max is he is actually the voice of anyone that listens to the show and gets mad at us for not respecting their team enough.
Right.
Like Max, of course he's gonna be mad because we're not respecting his team enough because he thinks he's an Eagles fan. They're 8-1. He's like, you guys should be saying they're the best team in football.
Right.
We just, I don't think that they're the best team in football right now.
There's a little bit off, and it's probably the secondary, and Jalen Hurts also having a little bit of a gimpy leg. And I just wasn't going to walk away from the Eagles-Cowboys game being like, Eagles dominate that. You can't.
Yeah.
Like, that was a good game. Eagles are the better team right now. I don't trust Dak in like a big moment.
You know what we can say
I do
about,
trust Jalen Hurts.
about that game is the Cowboys were 1 yard away, Big Cat.
They were 1
They
yard
were
away.
1 yard away. I mean, that was a terrible last play they called.
Also, Max is going to take a piss right now. The Eagles are really good.
Yeah, they're very
They're
good.
really fucking
They're
good. They're
very-
the best team in the NFC by far.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think the Niners have some big time issues. If you want to talk issues
Yeah.
defensively, the Niners have a
Like,
lot of.
who are
issues
the other
defensively.
complete teams in the NFC? The Lions?
Lions? But I would
But
take
also
the Eagles
the
over
Lions
them
got
all day.
boat raced by the Ravens.
The Eagles are the best team in the NFC. It's not even a question in my mind.
Yep, I agree with that. Except
I wish Max could hear this.
I can't wait till we beat them in the playoffs. Imagine how great that would be. It's never going to happen.
I am
can-
going to bet the Eagles to win the Super Bowl after they lose a couple of these games because they do have a gauntlet.
Mhm.
And I saw this before the season. I was like, 7-1 makes no sense. Let's wait till they lose a couple of these
Max
games.
is going to hate that you bet on the Eagles.
Yeah. All right, Max is back. Max, we
Max.
just said a lot of things.
So that's why I think they're so overrated, Big Cat.
Right.
I thought you said it was end scene. Also, the Eagles are 5-2-2 against the spread.
Okay.
So
Good.
above expectations of the spread.
Yeah, they're better than Vegas. Max, you have a good team. Be happy with your good team. I can't express that enough to you. Be happy that you have a good team.
Some people are saying best team in the NFC. We're not. Some are.
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
I was peeing.
You'll figure it out when you listen back to the podcast.
Do you listen when you upload
No.
What?
No chance.
to the show?
No chance.
Yes, I go back and edit the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Hank, rollback question, rhoback.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Are the Bengals really fucking good? Because I think they are.
Yes, they are.
I would agree with that.
I would like to see them put together maybe 4 quarters of offense, although they did last week. But they're really fucking good.
The Bengals are for real. They got themselves into a hole at the start of the season. They're out of the hole.
Yeah.
The Bengals, we can now say official out of the hole. Joe Burrow is moving around like he used to. He's using his feet. He had a nasty cut on his finger tonight. It was
Yeah.
Fingazi. That thing was bleeding so bad. He was just sucking the blood out of it.
They're really good.
Yeah, they beat the Bills just like straight up, just kicked them in the teeth tonight. So if you are a Bengals doubter, if you thought that what you saw in the first couple of weeks is going to be an indication of the team, nope, they're back.
Yeah. And I think the Bills are perfectly middle of the pack team.
Yeah.
I don't think they're very good.
Yeah.
They're not bad. They're just perfectly put them somewhere in that. Well, I guess they could win the AFC East because they do have the win over the Dolphins.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But maybe they can figure it out defensively and become a team that no one wants to play in the playoffs. But I don't see it right now.
I don't think that the Bills have at all this year at any point deserved of being the juggernauts that we thought that they were.
No.
At the start of the season.
Right
So
now,
they're just not a very good team. They're not. And
if the playoffs started right now, the Bills would not make the playoffs.
yeah, they're just not a good team. I still think that they have the capability of, I'm not going to say flipping the switch. They're not good enough to flip a switch anymore.
Oh.
But they need to round into shape.
The Bills have a tough schedule. The Bills might not make the playoffs.
That would be a shame. I would not like that.
I would not.
I'm
like
not
that
even being
either.
sarcastic.
No,
I think that would be a shame.
So they play the Broncos next. They should win that at home. They play the Jets, who they always struggle with, at home. Then they have to play at Eagles, at Chiefs versus Cowboys, at Chargers. If you want to throw in the Chargers, that's a pretty tough 4 games.
Yeah. The Bills, yeah, they might be the team that no one wants to play in the playoffs.
And they might be
that's about their ceiling.
Yeah, well, because they're not in the playoffs.
Right.
Right.
So you wouldn't want to play them because
Right.
then you'd
'Cause
also
then
not be in the playoffs.
Right. Okay, so there it is. Bills, the team no one wants to play in the playoffs.
Things got out of hand tonight with the refereeing, with the
Oh,
flags.
so much.
It was so bad, and I hate it when they bring on their little referees that are in the command center. When you get Terry McAuliffe to come out to explain what the refs did wrong, and then they're actually the refs did everything right. in
that
this game.
intentional grounding call was so bad.
Yeah, the only one with any soul is Dean Blandino.
Yeah.
He'll actually say, "Yeah, this was they fucked this one up."
Italian, you can
Italian
trust
guy,
him.
he's a real
Yeah.
paisan.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, Terry McAuliffe, he's just well, Chris, to your untrained eye, it might look like an egregiously bad intentional grounding, but I'm here to tell you why it was the right call to make, and then I don't really care what you say,
Yeah.
and I hate it.
Dude, the AFC playoffs are going to be awesome. Just looking at it right now. The fact that the Bills aren't in the playoffs right now is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be there are some really fucking good teams in the AFC. And the Bengals are the 7th seed right now. And they're the team no one wants to play.
Yeah, for sure.
They are definitely the team no one wants to play. All right. Who's back of the week? Hank, you've had enough time to figure it out.
Yeah, my who's back of the week. I have multiple. The first one is the NBA play-in tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gross courts.
Courts are disgusting. It's way too early in the season to do it. I knew it was coming, but 6 games in is way too early. I still don't fully understand the format, and the courts are disgusting.
There's group stage where they're now playing for seeding in it. I don't get it that much. I didn't have a problem with the courts though. It was whatever.
They were tough to look
It's a
at.
Friday. We got weird courts out there.
They're disgusting.
It was tough to watch.
It looks like a Sunbelt.
It looks
a
like
shitty Sunbelt game.
NIU
Watch
has
your
that
mouth.
court.
It felt personal, Hank.
Does JMU
also-
have a basketball team?
Yeah, they're playing against Michigan State tonight.
NBA, Michigan State's going to be good this year. NBA doesn't really start for me till Christmas Day.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. I thought it was going to be closer then when the tournament would start, get the hype going. But to
Right.
just do it six games in really threw me for a loop.
Yeah, it was weird seeing that out of nowhere. I did buy League Pass though. Big step in my life. First time ever purchasing League Pass just so I can watch Jordan Poole be the most ridiculous basketball player of all time.
It's the best, and you get the feed of the
Jumbotron.
and commercials.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't beat it.
Yeah.
My other who's back, you guys are wearing them. I was wearing them on Thursday. Got Tiffany to wear one. We were twinning ugly sweaters.
Yeah.
You guys are so
So-
cute together.
Yeah, they're on sale today. 20% off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
20% off today. I think it might be a 1 or 2 day sale. A bunch of cool ugly sweaters. Get them in time for the holidays.
It's a 1 day sale.
One day
day
sale.
1 day. I'm wearing Max right now on my ugly sweater. It says all I want for Christmas is a win.
Oh.
All I want for Christmas.
Max is mad
a
at us.
win.
I can tell Max is mad
Max,
at
I'm
us.
repping you,
He's
man.
mad at us.
I'm not mad.
You're mad. You're mad at
Ugly
us.
sweaters. Buy your ugly sweaters. Kevin James. Kevin James.
I got
Guy.
I got the Stella Blue one. Coffee. Buy the ugly sweater.
Max, I'm not saying that
20% off, 24 hours.
I'm not saying that you're ugly. I'm saying that the sweater is ugly, even though it just
didn't-
happens to have your face on it.
I didn't even think that until you just said it.
All right, cool. I want to make sure that you weren't thinking that.
Max, don't be mad at us.
It's
When you
fine.
listen back, when you went to the bathroom, we said some nice things about the Eagles.
I think you said bad things.
No,
we
it's
actually
good things.
reversed it on you. Old switcheroo.
I don't know if you're reversing it on me now.
Well,
Yeah.
just listen.
They
Guess
said good
what?
things.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Jake.
It was bad.
He would never lie. Me, that's the
Who
angel.
am I gonna trust? Yeah,
that's
who
the
am I-
angel and the demon on your shoulder is Jake and memes. I wonder which one's telling the truth.
Yeah. All right, Pifty, who's back?
My who's back of the week is Uganda.
Yeah.
So Donnie and Billy are overseas in Uganda right now. Billy, to some extent, I don't know, is coaching the Uganda national football team.
Well,
he's doing so in a boot because he broke his foot in a pickup basketball game before he left.
And I read Billy's pre-draft analysis of Will Levis, so he knows football.
He's right on. He's dead on target with what he said about Will Levis. Don't let the haters fool you.
Yeah.
They are going to be over there. I think the game is next Sunday, and it's Uganda against Kenya. Last time those two countries played, throughout the record books, I think Uganda lost 6-0. So Billy's installing some new offensive plays. They're bringing part of my cheesesteak over there. I was talking to Donnie earlier in the week, and I was like, you guys have to figure out some sort of like a turnover chain thing for them. Like if they make a good play, they should get to do something cool on the sidelines. They came up with the turnover steak because it's part of my cheesesteak, where they're going to put a stake in the ground and the player's going to get to use a sledgehammer and pound into the ground
Love it.
when they get a turnover.
Someone's going to get injured.
Someone, probably Billy, I would imagine. But I'm very much looking forward to the content that Donnie and Billy have over there because it's going to be incredible
Yes.
stuff. That we worked on their playbook too. Billy's got all sorts of ideas that he's going to try to implement in one day, and I feel bad for the quarterback who has a great name. What's that guy's name again? I'm going to look it up, but. Yeah, Billy's going to try to coach this guy up in about like 8 hours and tell him all the things to do.
Yeah, we'll let Donnie. I don't know when the graphic's coming out, but it's one of the funniest graphics I've ever seen. It's just part of it's Billy and Donnie on in the ground in Africa coaching football all in the name of cheesesteaks.
I'm excited.
In the ground.
Boots on the ground in Africa,
Literally.
all in the name of cheesesteaks, and that's truly what it's all about:
Yeah.
cheesesteaks and football.
Yeah.
I think
That's why this podcast started.
this guy's name is something like
Grow the game.
it's something like William Twist or something. Although a cooler name than that. I know his last name is Twist, who's the quarterback for Uganda. Pretty cool name.
Love it. Love it. I can't wait to watch this. All right, my who's back. I have 2. College basketball's back.
Yep.
Monday. There's like 100 games. I've already made like 20 bets.
113 D1 versus D1 games.
Love it.
Sick.
Love it. And I'm going to make a ton of bets. And this is one of my favorite times of year, right around Thanksgiving, when we start watching college basketball in the middle of the day. So college basketball is back. Also, the new office is back because we're going to unveil it. 10 a.m.
Yep.
Central.
Yep.
So 11 a.m. Eastern on the Viva La Stool YouTube. So we have held this back. Everyone did a really good job of not showing videos, mostly.
Agreed.
And so we are going
We
to
just passed inspection.
Yeah, we just passed inspection. We're going to show everyone the office, everything that's involved, and then we're going to start. I think the first official new stream is going to be Thursday afternoon. We're going to play dodgeball with the whole office. Will and Taylor will be here as well.
It's going to be great.
So
Hank's
we'll do
got
like a 4-team dodgeball tournament.
Hank's got the golf simulator up and running, and he's spending all of his time there for content.
For content.
It is.
We haven't been able to stream yet.
It is actually incredible. I love the golf simulator.
Everything's incredible. And then I think Friday we're going to follow it up with a wiffle ball home run derby.
Yeah, it's exciting. Finally, day has finally come.
Yeah.
Viva La Stool YouTube for the office stuff. That will be, the vlogs, behind the scenes, day-to-day interaction. Stool streams back.
Yep.
That will be where all the athletic activities and sports go on that channel. Tune in. Stay tuned.
Pumped for everyone to see it. It is, All Business Pete did a good job.
Great job.
Yeah. Parking lot could use a little
A
work.
good job. Let's not get him too hyped. He did a good job. But yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I'll say this: the internet works.
The internet works.
If you want to get
well.
excited about one thing in this new office, is that the Wi-Fi is good.
He did it, and he gave us a walk-in freezer, which I think is something that he's keeping when the internet breaks.
It's a cooler.
It's a freezer.
Cooler.
It's a cooler. I think it's like above freezing in there.
Oh, so it's not even.
It's cold enough where All Business Pete could put a dead body in there if he had to.
But I think what he's going to do is the internet's going to break. He's like, but I got you that freezer.
Yeah.
The real question is, who will the first significant injury be?
Knock on wood.
I mean,
I went to the doctor on
the
Friday.
question has to be asked.
For my Evan injury. So when Pug got me in my ribs, I thought it was fractured because I heard like a pop. Went to the doctor, gave me an X-ray, no fracture, but they said separated cartilage.
Damn, so no dog. There wasn't a dog
No,
in there either.
there was no dog.
No dog.
No, the official diagnosis was you're a bitch, sir. Please leave urgent
doodle
care
in there.
immediately. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, get excited for that. We're very excited. Obviously, it's been a weird
24-hour stream coming too. Probably next couple weeks.
Yeah, it's been a weird, 6 months or whatever, this entire transition process, but we're finally, it's like when we unveil it on Monday, 10 Central, 11 Eastern, it's all systems go, and we're ready to go, and we appreciate everyone bearing with us through all of it. We're very excited. It's going to be incredible for everyone. Okay, Jake, finish us off. Also, Max, stop being mad at us.
My Who's Back of the Week is the DC Pickleball team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Champions of MLP Dallas tournament.
We did it.
Let's
Oh wait,
go.
it's not the whole league.
No.
Well, it's a tournament.
Oh,
No,
okay.
we won a tournament, though.
Yeah,
How many
all right,
teams?
we won a tournament.
What?
How many teams?
There was 24.
They were drinking Stella Blue coffee, ice
Cold brew?
coffee, cold brew coffee afterwards. So
Yeah.
thank you to them.
So shout out DC Pickleball.
Yeah.
Huge win.
Huge.
And yeah, first of many.
Yes.
It was revenge too because they lost to Orlando Squeeze in September.
I hate the Orlando
in,
Squeeze.
in Atlanta, and then they faced off again in the
I
championship.
fucking hate
Revenge.
the Orlando Squeeze.
We beat them 3-0 in the championship game.
Fuck yes.
Statement win.
I can't. If I meet someone on the street and they're like, I'm an Orlando Squeeze guy, I'm like, spit on them.
Yeah.
We got to do it. I said it when I was at the me and Jerry stayed in and watched wrestling practice at Wisconsin for like an hour and a half a couple weekends ago, and the coach was talking about coming. I was like, yeah, we should host a regional. Like I'm just kind of obsessed with trying to host events at the office, but a official pickleball sanctioned match would be great.
Would be incredible.
Can you do that on hardwood?
I don't know. I'm
Yeah, I think if we put a mat down,
Okay.
I want to host a basketball team, college or NBA, to come just do a practice. College team. Maybe Danny Hurley.
We should do a
when they
dunk
come play
contest.
DePaul.
Like host a dunk contest. Should we
Also,
say?
the hoops are 10-5. We gotta fix that.
Are they for real?
Yeah.
I could
All right,
tell.
how can we fix that?
I don't. We gotta get the guy to come and lower them. But
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't touch them. That's how I know.
That's why my shot's been off?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Except when I played you. I beat Hank 7-0 in one-on-one today.
Is that true?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was wet.
7-0, Hank.
Well,
I mean,
it was winners.
Oh,
I didn't
make it-
miss.
is make it
I
take
literally didn't miss. So it's not. I didn't miss.
We also got to do like we've talked about this, but the Shane is in this room and other people just no respect for the ground rules of shooting around.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
People who don't give change are scumbags, lowlifes, and pieces of shit. I put them next to Orange Squeeze fans.
Orlando Squeeze.
Orlando Squeeze.
Yeah.
What do I say?
Orange.
Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, there should be ground rules. If it's a layup, obviously you don't get your change for that. But anything outside the key, right?
You miss a shot, and then you get a layup, and then you give the ball back.
Yeah.
People are just, taking balls and shooting them like it's anarchy out there.
Except there's been times that I will continue to do this. I specifically say, hey, can you rebound for me real quick? Like at halftime of a game, and I'll just get 10 threes up, and then I'll say thank you.
That's fair.
Yeah. If someone asks me, can you rebound for me real quick? I'll do it.
What
No
I'm looking
problem.
forward to the most about this court is seeing how there's going to be some surprises in how shockingly unathletic certain people that work here are.
Yeah, that's the fun of it.
It's the best.
People are going to be like, oh, I thought this was Barstool Sports. Yeah, we're all regular guys, except Titus is really fucking good. All right. Good show, boys. Good show. We're officially halfway through the NFL season.
I hate that.
I'm okay with it.
I
feel like we're chugging along. Hank, have you ever gotten this?
No.
That's too bad.
Have you?
Numbers.
21.
17.
18.
20.
3.
What was your number?
21.
Why'd you change from 31?
Uh-oh.
I got a reason.
Someone gave you the number. Someone gave me a number yesterday too.
Is the number real, the person who gave it to you?
What?
We're about to find out.
18.
Or is the number not fucking real?
We're about to find out.
Shane. 10.
I texted
8.
8, 17, 21, 18, 20, 10 for Shane. Pug.
22.
22. And then what was yours, Memes?
3.
Memes has never gotten it in any form or fashion.
That's a fact.
I'm going to get it.
$55. Who's going to be the first to get it? It's going to be an electric moment.
It sure will be.
55. Should
Love
we do
you
one
guys.
more because it's been a long show?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, let's do one more official. Everyone has to stick with their numbers.
Okay.
Fair?
Yeah.
Official. This counts.
Can we repeat numbers?
17.
17 for Big Cat.
8.
8 PFT.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
Hank 21.
I'm wearing a 21 Savage shirt.
Oh, wow.
Jake 18. Max 20. Memes 3. Evan 22.
3.
Shane is 10.
Shane's
10.
10.
All
Do
right.
something for
Let's
me.
go. This one counts. This one counts.
3.
50.
Fuck me. I thought that was that 5 looks like a 2 from back here.
Love you guys.
Oh, fuck.